just going to get out of my face.
I guess we're back. I hope we're back. Fucking what a mess that was.
Remember we said there was a pop-up, Joe?
My internet fucked up. My internet fucked up. My bad. 1 second, let me just make sure we are live. Yeah, okay.
We are live.
We're live, baby. We are live.
I was just saying as well, we were so close to my favourite subject, which is zombies. Like now.
Were we? Oh, well, because of
I was going to say, you even like, do not interrupt me when I'm talking to you, young gentlemen. No, so basically, me and my mate Jason, right, we got a theory that...
You're about to sound... Would you like your tin hat before you do this, Brad?
Yes. And some sunscreen from the lights, so I'm going a bit red. No, so we've got this theory that we're hoping right, that by some gypsy magic, that coronavirus like mutates and combines with Ebola.
You're fucking mad, man.
And there's this secret government thing going on where they're making super soldiers and it crosses with that and it makes zombies.
Oh, so we get zombie COVID super soldiers.
Yeah, I mean,
is that just an excuse for you to axe up and just run out the street and shoot people?
Sick as it sounds, I want to shoot people. I mean, I know who's first on my list, even though she might not say she's a zombie yet, but she's...
And who's this?
Tina.
Really? You're still hung up on the fucking ex from like 7 years ago?
I
was going to say, dude.
No, she's got kids, I couldn't hurt her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hurt her anyway.
No. But, yeah.
Her boyfriend would have to stand on 2 telephone books to give me head anyway, Midge. But no, we've got, what's that? So, like, obviously, with the zombie apocalypse, this is so cringe. Like, I said to Jason, I said it'd be fun for about half an hour. Until your mum turns and you're like, oh.
Well, no, until you realise that the paradigm of life has completely changed.
Everything, yeah.
If that actually happened to the point where a virus, like, you look at Walking Dead. Have you ever watched Walking Dead?
Oh, mate, I get so frustrated watching those.
Oh, it's horrendous.
Idiots.
But yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. For the first couple of weeks, they were like, we need to try and get things back to normal. Let's try and get back to normal. And it's like, why?
Can't.
It shows that humanity needs to kind of colonize. We need to create little tribes, and then inside that tribe, then we're like, oh, who can do this job, and who can do that job, and who can do this job. And it shows, like, if you strip back all of the bullshit, we are essentially the monkeys trying to figure out...
You'd be a gatherer, wouldn't you? You'd be a little gatherer. They'd be like, oh, Joe, you got to go and get some berries to get all the rubbish. I'll be a fucking hunter and zombie assassin.
What's the difference between a hunter and a gatherer? They are literally...
No, you're just a gatherer, not a hunter. You're not that weapon.
Okay, well, so
I'm a hunter. So you're the gatherer. I'm the hunter. There's a big difference.
You basically stand behind
me.
You stand with me with a gun.
No, I'm not with you. You go off, collect your own berries. I go off hunting animals, big game.
They do the same thing.
And I shoot zombies. No, we don't do the same thing.
The gatherer is the one that can find shit.
You are a gatherer. No, you can't.
And then you're a tracker.
I'm a hunter. That's all that goes without saying. A hunter does. I'm a hunter. He goes out and he finds food. My food actually can fight back. Yours is stuff. Right? you dig up a potato, you probably fuck that up. Whereas I get to go out, I get to shoot animals and shit. I get to take out zombies to protect the women. Obviously, I get first pick of the women because I'm alpha male. You might get the one like third from bottom because you're a gatherer.
Yeah, but you got to remember
only the shit house cleaner.
Somebody allowed you to have that job in a township built by people.
I'm the mayor as well.
Now fuck off.
I'm in charge politically.
No. Like you.
Hey, it's not cooled down in like an hour. Got sensitive teeth because they're all chipped.
Yeah, and you smoke too much.
Yeah, dick. We got zombies. I always say to people, I've got a little trick question. I say, name 5 things you're going to take from the zombie apocalypse. Ready and go.
5 things you would take to the zombie apocalypse.
No, let's see what Joe says. No, because Joe.
5 things I would take in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah. A weapon of some sort.
Yep. What would it
Preferably
be?
one which doesn't require ammunition because you will not have enough ammunition to fight zombies.
In this country.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be something big and weighty, but also easy to hit people with. Number 1, weapon of some sort. Unsure of what. My bad. Camera's fucked up.
Camera's frozen poos. There we go.
Yeah, so something sharp, something hard to hit people with. Lesson 1 or object 1. A compass.
Well, I want you to name one.
What weapon?
Name a weapon. I want to be specific. This is the question. You can't go a blunt force trauma weapon. That could be this. That could be my phone. I mean, that could be my phone.
It's got to be something which.
Badass.
Yeah, but I don't actually know the technical names of weapons, whereas you do. It'd be something with a machete, something with like a rope cut.
So you want a machete?
But something.
No, I want specific. You want a machete?
Yes, I know, but I don't.
Do you want a baton, a police baton? Or
No, fuck that. I would rather a machete.
Yeah, so would I. I got one at home.
Yeah.
Right. What else taking, Josephine? A compass. Great. Well done, mate. Next one. We'll never waste time. Next
Why
one.
would a compass be?
Because we've got fucking roads and maps, Joe.
Yes, but we also have fucking no satellites, none of that bullshit will be fucking connected, and also you might not be on the road.
Oh yeah, that's
if you get stuck in a fucking forest.
That's good. That's good. I mean, the biggest forest in the UK is probably what? The New Forest. Roads all the way through it.
Yeah, but you get stuck in the middle of that, and you.
Yeah.
But you also got to remember, look at the roads.
I suppose signposts won't help if you can't read it because the next generation might have better read, Joe. But
we're talking potentially hundreds of years down the line.
Yeah, I think by that time, after I took all the zombies out with my hunting skills,
this is the thing. There's always more zombies.
Yeah, but obviously I managed to find my weapon. Early. I don't know how I found it. I got an answer for you. I broke into the police station, chinned out, PC knob end, stole his weapon. 3 points for speeding, you prick. Yeah, I'm like, no.
Okay.
So what number 3? That's number 3 then. Come at number 3.
Well, it depends on what I'm planning on doing in the zombie apocalypse. Like, if it was day one,
you can do whatever you want. What
day
do you
one,
take with you?
No, but taking with you says that you're not in it in the first place. If that makes sense.
Sake.
I know I'm being ridiculously pedantic.
You've got 5 things you've got to wish for. Fuck's sake, genie in a bottle. Right, come on. Stop trying to beat around the question.
We've got a weapon, a way of finding around, a big ass coat to keep you fucking warm, a spear of some sort for hunting as opposed to.
You just need a bag to carry berries. That's all you need.
Fuck off.
Go on. So you chose 2 weapons.
Yeah,
a
2
coat.
weapons for different things. Yeah, a coat. Am I literally naked before I start?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck me. Okay, so that's the difference.
Balls. No, it's
okay.
not. You're completely naked. I can't believe I thought of that.
So
I'm glad because most people go, oh yeah. Oh.
So is clothing one item?
I'll let you have that. Boots a lot.
Okay, so full tactical gear clothing.
What type? Warm? Winter? What?
I would go cool-ish with an added burqa. With a big fucking coat.
Good, and that counts as a separate item, so that's a 5. That is pretty good. I'll give you that. Most people forget. They forget the backpack. So like Jack, for instance, he goes, Jack, let him come and fight me.
You love Jack. Yeah, I love how you slag him off.
I don't slag him off
like Jack.
Yeah, but it's not.
Jack.
It's like brotherly love, isn't it? It's not. It's brotherly love.
You're such a cunt.
But he was like, "What are you gonna get?" And I got to be honest, I was feeding him a little bit. He said, 50 cal. Yeah, how many bullets? Hundreds, thousands. Yeah, I'll never run out. Yeah, what else, Jack? What else? Yeah, a knife. Yeah, he got like 1 item left. I'm thinking he's fucked there. And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "What are you gonna put it in?" "Oh, a backpack." But you didn't say backpack, Jack. You didn't say backpack. You're about to die, and you're going to freeze to death.
Well, let's not fucking hope that a zombie apocalypse actually happens, because
you'd be fucked.
I think we live in a world where people think they're capable, but most people aren't even capable. No, but most people aren't even capable of fixing a fuse in their house if their fucking board trips out.
Mate.
Most people are retarded.
The thing is, with the zombie apocalypse, this is where violence actually can get you self-sorted.
Yeah.
I could just beat up an electrician to do it. Do you know what I mean? But I don't need to do that anyway because the power will be off.
No, but there's...
Can you make a fire?
This is
one of mine was a lighter.
Yeah.
Can you make a fire?
Yeah.
I probably should have said a box of 1,000 matches, really. Because I thought making a fire in the cold in wet is not easy.
Well, you get
when you're in a house.
One of those flint strikes that you can get.
Oh mate, I went. So I got this.
Can you get ones with screw into the bottom of the machete and shit like that, and you strike against the blade? Yeah.
I went out on this SAS survival course. My friend, he's an absolute like British hero. I ain't gonna say his. I always put him out. He's been on James Walker. He's he got in the SAS at like 20 years old. He's about as gangster as it gets. Doesn't even give a fuck about it. I mean. And then he ran this. It was Trilateral Solutions. You can actually look for it on Instagram, and he teaches you how to survive. And I went out of him and I thought, I'm gonna blast this. I've seen so many Raymares and fucking what's the other fucker? Bear Grylls.
Yeah, but Bear Grylls.
I thought I'm gonna use SS Reserve. It's not the same.
No, Bear Grylls apparently literally on his survival shows
Stays in a hotel. What's up with like, I like
That's
it.
not legit. I'm sorry, you can't do a survival show and then be like, I'm about to fucking drink my own piss. Let me just quickly substitute it with some fucking apple juice to make it.
That's what I would have done, mate. He's showing you how to do it. He doesn't have to do it, but he climbed inside a fucking moose. Can you imagine the smell of the shit tracks?
Yeah, it would be fucking hell. I can imagine that would be horrendous.
I'd like to know if he's... and then they zoom out, zoom back in. Oh, and he comes out covered in like on Tom Green, and he become the animal.
That was on Freddy Got Fingered, wasn't it? That film. Tom Green.
Was it?
Yeah, Tom Green.
It was Freddy Got Fingered. Yeah,
Freddy Got Fingered. Yeah.
Then he would do like some sausages. That one.
I need to watch that film again because I only watched it when I was like 16, and I do not remember any of it.
Mate, I watched Road Trip the other day as well.
Road Trips is fucking hilarious. Amazing, Road Trip is an absolute gangster film.
Well, actually, one of my favourite. Now we're on like to the year 2000, between 1999 and 2004. We went the American Pie, didn't you?
Yeah. I didn't like the later ones. I liked 1 and 2.
Have you seen the last? For the wedding was good.
The wedding was good, but it was just a little bit. Yeah, no, but that's...
Tastes nutty.
No, but that's all he had about to do is pick it up and go, oh no, your dog just pooed on the floor. It's your dog. I'm picking up its shit. She would have gone, oh, thank you for doing that. Job done. Instead he went, it's a chocolate. Bullshit.
Mate, it would have been
Worst
funny.
scene in the film changed. All he had to do is go, it's dog shit.
Yeah.
That's it. No. And the reason why he was picking the shit up was because it had the ring in it.
I mean,
and then he ate the fucking ring.
Nutty.
Yeah, he ate the ring. So what was the fucking point in him doing it? I watched that in the cinema. My mum nearly threw up. She actually started gagging in the middle of the cinema. And I was
they would have smelled on his breath though, wouldn't they? Come on.
Yeah.
They'd have been like, mate, I'm not eating shit for some person. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Not even.
There's no one on that much for a pedestal.
It was just to impress the mother. Fuck the mother.
Yeah,
fuck the mother.
I didn't like you. Oh my god. And then like the latest American Pie, the girls one. Wow.
Trash.
Fucking shit. It's like what I've noticed at the moment. I've got nothing against girl power and all that shit, but
well, they're taking on famous male
films and they're just changing them with a
female twist.
With females.
But did they watch that film originally and go, "This film is sexist. It's 5 men who are friends together. There's no women in this friend circle."
Trying to get poontang, get some poon.
Yeah, like you know what one's next. What film sequence or trilogy or whatever will now be taken over by women?
Which one? Go on.
Hangover.
That'd just be dreadful. It'd just be women going to the toilet in pairs all night. That'd be fucking shit. I don't know why women do that.
Oh my god, where's Tina? Oh, she's in the bathroom. Okay. End of film. It was just the first one that was in my head. Dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Dumb fuck and it gets lost on a night out.
Yeah, it's like, mate, it's just... It's like exactly the same as the first one, but just girls. It's like, why? It was a great formula.
That sounds terrible.
Oh, mate.
Well, they ruined...
Atrocious.
What was the other ones? They ruined Ocean's 8.
I didn't mind... Oh, mate, Ghostbusters. Do not start.
Ghostbusters I actually didn't mind because it was a different twist on the idea of Ghostbusters. And that didn't actually bother me. And I thought Hemsworth was actually really funny in it as well. Like his character playing the dumb dude was actually quite funny.
Yeah, he's good.
And it wasn't the same idea as the original, and I quite liked it. But again, it was nowhere near as good as the original. But then the original being nostalgic, do you always look back at nostalgia as a stronger factor than current modern stuff?
I was going to say actually, just before I forget, the one I did like, and I was like wrote it off before you put it on. The last Terminator. I wrote it off. No, they've done it again.
What?
It's all women in it.
It's Sarah Connor.
But I was like, this is fucking good.
Yeah, but that's because you know the storyline. It was a continuation of storyline. It wasn't like Arnie became a fucking woman. That's when it would be a bit messed up.
It was actually really good. I enjoyed it. But
which one's the last? Because we got.
It's the one with the I don't know. Fuck, it carries on from the second Terminator. It doesn't forgets all the other ones. Just goes from one.
What? So Sarah Connor's alive.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah. So she's yeah.
And then
yeah, and Arnie's got a missus and kids.
I don't know if he could.
Yeah, he did. No, but he settled down with a woman to protect her, didn't he? He developed love.
He's a robot.
He's a learning robot.
Fake love.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he get angry if she gets caught with someone else inside her?
I know.
Get out! Oh, get out of my girlfriend! Oh no, put it away, do it. No.
What other ones have been hijacked?
Well, mate, it's quite a lot. I don't mind. What I don't like.
I didn't like Men in Black.
It's fucking crap. Ruined it.
Yeah, the latest one with Hemsworth and what's her name?
Oh, shit.
Annoy me.
I don't like it when you get like a £60 woman drop kick like the Big Show and he goes 30 yards in the air.
Yeah,
like that Anna with the woman assassin. It's just fucking crap. It's like, well,
yeah,
she would not be able to take out her infiltrators. Like,
yeah, she would not be able to take out another male assassin who's
just as good.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
how?
That's the thing. They're forgetting that anyone who is a male assassin is
twice
also
the size,
a
twice as
fucking
strong.
good fighter. Is that thing even on? No, it's not. What a piece of shit. Sorry, we have a heater. Like,
yeah, and it's
right
actually
in front of us.
sucking the heat
It's
away
sucking
from
the
my
heat
legs.
away from it. Yeah.
I can actually feel it drawing the heat away from my nice warm legs. While Joe's going down on that heater, sort of.
Let's see if that'll work. Maybe that'll work it. Hey. Okay.
Is it working?
Maybe. We'll soon find out. It'll take a while yet, mate.
Yeah, I can imagine. Heater from the 90s.
Yeah.
But hopefully it will work.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is episode 1. We are trialing this. We're just going to fucking have a laugh and chill out. Hopefully in the future we'll be getting some guests. We will be getting more than 2 people involved as well. We can use multiple cameras and everything else. But we hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. Let's have a little look at the comment section. I know there was a few of you which were getting involved before the stream dropped out. So let's see if this is kicking off now. We have 11 people watching. Welcome very much to the show,
It's
guys.
not quite as many as we used to get.
No, exactly. It's not quite the same.
Nothing that demoralising as going from brilliant to... have you seen the latest... I don't like bringing up race ever, but... Bringing up race.
Oh, okay.
Ethnicity. You know, what people look like.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw a video the other day, and it was a video. It was on the BBC iPlayer, and it was about the history of World War One.
Mm-hmm.
And they had all these like young black girls there, and they were like talking absolute shit. To be honest with you, they were like, "Oh, when I was at school, I was always showed pictures of white men at the front line smiling, having a great time. What, in the Battle of the Somme, darling, where they were like literally drowning in fucking mud, fighting for our freedom and so on. They were not having a good time."
Well, you say that, but I think there are moments between the battles where men will be men, and in those moments are the times where the people take a picture and they aren't going to sit there.
Well, not that cameras weren't seen very often, so they probably shocked to have a photo taken.
Exactly. 100%.
But they weren't having a good time.
Well, this is one thing which I was having a chat with my missus about.
Oh, sorry, it's frozen.
Is it?
No.
No, it's not. Oh, fuck me.
One camera's frozen. Go back to mine.
No, it's the top right. That's the stream. Oh, yeah. No, it's fine.
Back
it's
on,
fine.
baby. Shake
it's
it,
fine.
baby.
It's fine. It's just. Oh yeah, just touch the camera button for me.
Which one?
The big one on the left-hand side.
That one?
No, forward. That one. Just touch that. There we go.
Oh, there we go, baby. Shake it, bake. We're back in with
It might have been the camera. Might have.
Yes, we had.
That's better.
So that wound me out, and then they were on about, and I like the way that they try and manipulate. They used to, like, for instance, in that story, we know that over like something like 2.5 million Indian soldiers fought for us, right? Volunteered, by the way, to fight for us, and then they got a victory march through. So to start off with, they were saying we didn't realise there was people of colour in the war. And apparently when you were at school, they always say it was white Englishmen that fought. No, it wasn't. They just say British people. I've never been to a school and they go, only white people fought for this country. That's never ever been said in my whole life.
Also,
I've never heard that.
The Indians weren't.
They were the savages. They were the fucking Sikhs. They're warrior race. They were hard as fuck.
Some of them were flown over to the UK to join the infantry, which attacked from Normandy. A lot of the Indians were sent to Egypt and to like the Mediterranean coasts. To
Gallipoli.
Yeah.
Your homeland.
Yeah, exactly. They were sent to like Croatia, opposite like the Italian shore, so they could attack in different directions. Obviously, they took them from India. They didn't gonna fly them over the top of Germany to get to fucking England, India. That's how you lose soldiers.
So they
flew
died.
them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You get them as close as you can and attack from a different direction.
I mean, you flew over the Luftwaffe. That's what we're
obviously, you also got to remember as well, the British public were focusing on Normandy, all of the northern...
Protecting our own country.
Well, the northern territory of France was what was in the main headlines.
Yeah.
And that would have been done by British soldiers of mostly white descent, probably. Yeah. And that's also where the cameras would have been, because they would have come from England. You remember 1912, there was not fucking many cameras. I think 6%
of the soldiers were people of colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's still a lot of fucking, especially when you're talking in the millions. 6%.
70 million or something.
So I mean, 6% is still 350,000. It's still a fucking lot of people.
I can't remember. It was quite a few, but it was, and then what they do, they say, so, do you know how many black soldiers fought for the British? 15,000. 15,000, babe. That's how many we were losing a day at one point. Yeah. Men. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm ungrateful for the help. Of course I'm not. They fucking hell. They help us out.
But you got to think, where did those 15,000 people come from?
I think they come from
Caribbean. Yeah, Caribbean.
Caribbean.
You got to remember how many Africans were, how many British how many of them wanted to come over? Excuse me, coffee break.
I wouldn't want to come over.
Yeah, exactly. But how many people were on the islands in 1912? You got to remember this was at the slave trading had only really ended in the Caribbean 70 plus years before that, in the mid 80s. Yeah, exactly. So 70 plus years ago, there might not have been that many people on the islands.
No, we owned the islands. We stopped.
Exactly.
We stopped it in 1812, I think.
Yeah. So it was 100 years then. So within 100 years, how many people were on the islands? They weren't anywhere near as built up as what they are now. So probably talking a couple of 100,000 people, and they took 15,000 of the strongest, best men and used them. That's all they had to give.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not. Yeah. That's not.
No, exactly. No, 15,000 is not like it is today, where you could pull 15,000 people out of Swindon.
I think someone even tried to sue him for that video. It was just such bullshit.
That's ridiculous.
So it's like they're trying to make out basically that we deny that there was anyone other than English people, British people. And they even used the word English. That's what I mean. What about Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland as well?
British people, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it covers all demographics.
It's just absolute bullshit. The BBC do my fucking head in with their absolute
this is
bullshit
the thing.
lies.
The war went on for so long. Both wars went on for so long. There are going to be moments in between the battles where there is no fighting going on. People are regrouping, they're training. I think we forget how long 7 years is. 7 years is a fucking long time. I've been with my fiance now for, how long have you been with Emily?
No, I know 7 years, mate.
So I mean, imagine if your entire relationship was a war.
Yeah, I've been in a relationship that was 3 years, and that was like a constant war.
Yeah, but you could have a 6
and a losing battle. That was
6 month
not many
battle,
victories.
A 6 month battle inside a 6 month battle. You're telling me it's going to be fighting solid for 6 months? Bullshit. It'll be a couple of days here, a couple of weeks here, a couple of days here.
Bad
yeah, but not
in terms of
constant. But I've watched. I've watched this thing.
But it depends on where it was. Like,
so I've watched.
They weren't always constantly fighting Europe. They were always constantly. It was all the World War. It was in the Far East. Have you seen 1917, the movie?
No. So at one point the guy runs through the trenches and they're like, why aren't you moving? And I was like, we've been here for weeks. The Germans are over there somewhere. It's like. So that means they spent like 2 or 3 weeks just sat hunkered down. Yeah. They weren't fighting. They were waiting. But they were there the whole time. You mean not as individuals? I meant as there's always 100%. But individual areas could have been locked down doing absolutely nothing for weeks at a time. And in that time, that's when a camera comes out and it takes pictures of people because they've been playing fucking cards, they've been gambling, they've been playing football.
Great fun playing cards in a fucking dirty
But that's all you've got to do. That's literally all you've got to do.
Yeah, but Joe, they were
and it's called morale.
Time.
You're trying to keep morale up.
Yeah, they were having a great time.
No,
how could there be? And that was a joke.
It's a great time for a terrible situation.
Another thing as well, period dramas as well.
Yeah.
And they were always on about. There was another one saying that Britain was whitewashing history.
No, that's how it was.
I was like, well, and I thought, wait.
I feel the exact opposite, and it's not racist in any way. But when I watch a period film and there's a random black guy in a fancy outfit, you go, bullshit.
Do you know how many
a guy of power in a position, or it's just like that's not how it was. You go back to the mid 1800s or 1700s.
Do you know how many black people in this country before the World War One? 20,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of a population of 40 million.
Yeah, that's not.
I'm not good at maths, but that's 0.
Pretty small fucking percentage. That's a pretty fucking small percentage.
0.00 something that is. But no, I mean, I've got nothing against it at all. But just don't lie. Don't call it a period drama.
No, exactly. Yeah, they're white.
I don't care about any of this whitewashing or fucking blackwashing shit. I don't care.
No.
But and then they had to go at that. What was that woman who played an Indian? There was a white Hollywood star who played an Indian woman or something, and it was like the end of the world. But
I know which one you're on about.
Why would it bother you? It's not a period drama. It's a fictional film.
But we say
it's like when people moaned about the mermaid being black. Well, what's the matter?
No, but then people will get pissed off about the idea of James Bond changing race.
Not race, but. Gender. They want about change.
Oh yeah.
Jane Bond.
Jane Bond. Jane Bond.
It wouldn't be the same. It just would be the same.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't
have
the
books,
same.
He's a fucking man.
No, but the thing is, there are good women spy dramas. Really fucking good ones. Great films. Like you mentioned Anna. You watched Anna, didn't you? You just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good film. Okay. Yeah, she was beating up guys who would have easily have smashed her up because they are professional assassins, and they just have the
out. As well,
yeah, she was hot as well.
She was hot, man. For an older bird, she was.
So, they do exist. Girl spy films do exist, and I think they work better when they're not recreations.
Yeah.
As soon as they steal or change an idea or try and be inclusive or whatever, it doesn't count. It doesn't matter. If someone in the comment section then goes, that movie was very much like a male version of a James Bond film, it's fine. But if you cancel James Bond and make Jane Bond, then it's not the same. It's not the same.
If you change the gender of James Bond, you've got to change the rest of it.
Yeah.
You ain't better go to Miss Moneypenny, is it? She goes, oh, like Miss Moneypenny? Yeah. There was like that little sexual tension you could cut. That was a part of the film. That's
sexual
why it's funny.
tension was the women would see that as fucking Me Too.
Oh, rape.
He was at work. He should not have been hitting on her.
It's like
she was a secretary. That's power. That's abuse of power.
I got in a really good debate the other day with my girlfriend's friend. She's a alt left. Her dad's a Democrat, and she's from America. Obviously, she's a Democrat. Lovely girl, I love her pieces, but she gets very, very frustrated. She was telling me there's a rape culture. I said, right, do you know what men do to other rapists?
Yeah, we kill them.
They kill them. They beat them to death. Yeah. They stab them. They devour them.
They get done over first in prison.
Yeah, but a woman that falsely accuses a man of rape gets let off the hook.
Yeah. Yeah,
but she was willing to ruin that man's life forever. Men who get accused and get done for rape, they can't stay in the same town. They have
this
to
is
leave.
obviously
They have to move away.
This is obviously a very touchy subject in that
I know,
way
that's why I don't want to bring it up
because it's so easy to offend people. But the fact is,
by the way, we think rape is bad.
Oh, 100%.
Rape is bad, right?
Yeah.
We never ever glorify it. Fuck me.
Yeah,
You shouldn't even have to say that.
No, and it's a given.
And then there was the lies about 1 in 4 women to be raped in college. I googled it. I mean, it's still bad. It was like 1 in 200 or something. But it's still bad.
Yeah.
But don't say like if there's 4 in a room, one of you is going to get.
I totally get it though. Like, I used to work in nightclubs for years, and if a hot girl walked across the dance floor, she could pretty much count how many times she gets touched on the ass, not even on 2 hands. They get groped.
Yeah, that's bad.
But if it was a guy walking across and there was loads of hot girls grabbing his ass, he'd get excited about it. But imagine if that was years of doing it to the point where it's like, I just want to fucking have a drink with my friends and I'm being harassed.
No, I totally agree with you.
It's the same thing with being famous. Like,
although I didn't like the idea that boy potentially getting 10 years for touching a girl's arm, and he was too scared to talk to her, and then they darted off. So hang the fuck on,
I know
man.
that one.
Oh,
yeah,
mate, it'll make you furious watching that.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that stuff.
No, I love watching shit on videos. It's like see the debates and that.
Yeah, it's
very argumentative.
I think rape needs to be broken down into different. Well, there is different categories, 100%. But I think if there needs to be something to do with crying wolf, there needs to be some repercussion of some sort.
You should be fucking shot.
Yeah. But it's the same with
every lies, mate.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. But
that's it. You can never go back to what you're doing. You got to leave. Your family disown you. Everyone disowns you.
No, but if you get let off, then you didn't. You got proved innocent. So it didn't happen.
What happens to
people's perspective? Yeah, but fuck people's perspective. I know. It
doesn't matter. Everyone thinks you're a fucking rapist. Even if you can't get jobs anymore. You could never get a TV role. That's it. And
no, but if you said. No, but the argument is
it don't make any
difference.
That's it. There's no argument about it.
And we were both drunk, and then she fucking got angry about it or whatever, and it all got acquitted in court, and everything was fine. No crime was actually committed. Then people.
Well, every time your name gets
people are judgmental cunts. That's the problem. People are fucking assholes.
You weren't going to use that word, Joe.
No, my bad.
So you can't even delete it now.
Nope, can't even delete it. Fuck
it. The only word we weren't going to say.
But people are judgmental.
The Facebook.
It's the same with everything. It's the same with everything. It's the same with. With some of the stuff which you did in the UFC, people judge you for it. People judge everybody for other people's actions, which have nothing to fucking do with them. How you perceive other people is the most important thing. And if you're forgiving and nice to people, imagine if everybody was more forgiving. Like you said, it ruins people's lives that have false rape cases. They actually did nothing wrong.
They did absolutely nothing wrong. They've just been normal citizens obeying the law.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's
but people are judging.
Everybody.
Well, the worst part
is pub talk. When you go to a pub.
Well, no, but the pub talk starts somewhere. It starts in the media, especially if you're into celebrity stuff. And I think we might have covered this before.
What was it?
But at some point, and this is what's really fucked up. At some point, a celebrity kills themselves because of a story in the media that's been slammed around and bashed about. But at some point, Caroline Flack. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So at some point, some media journalists were sat in an office going, "Bit of a quiet news week this week. Anything going on?" And they went, "Oh, well, Caroline Flack's having a bit of a debate with her boyfriend, and apparently apparently she hit him or something or other, and it got
tried to kill him or something. Didn't she?
No, that's the media.
Just
Again,
lies?
it was
What
bullshit.
happened?
So if somebody reports a domestic violence case, the cops have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And the cops have to put it through because they understand that someone can retract their statement because they're scared. So somebody overheard Caroline and her boyfriend, her being very angry at him. They called the police. She gets arrested for domestic violence. The case automatically goes to court. He goes to court, pleads, nothing happened. Everything was fine. In that time, the media have spun it so many different ways because it was a quiet news day to the point where she is now ultimate public enemy number one and ends up killing herself. But all of that started by a couple of guys in a news office going, news is a bit dead this week. What can we do?
Right.
Maybe that was the plan. Maybe the plan was to eventually have someone kill themselves. What if that is the way it is?
I think you've looked into that a bit deep.
No. Have you not? So there's a South Park episode called Britney's New Haircut.
Oh, mate, it's amazing.
Fucking great. But what is the point of that episode?
Did you shoot yourself in the head?
Yeah. So she tries to kill herself, and the press go, "What has Britney done with her hair?" They are literally torturing her to the point she kills herself.
That's what they like, mate.
And they say it is an offering to the fucking gods that we have to have a celebrity kill themselves so that we can all have a good harvest. It's an ultimate piss take. It's fucking hilarious. I would recommend anyone watch that episode. It's
South
fucking
Park.
brilliant.
I just bought the new season. I was like, oh my god, it's a new
It's
season.
so fucking good.
Mate, I bought it on Amazon Prime. It's one episode, man. Season 24 or 25.
What, pandemic special?
Yeah, one episode. Has it all come out now?
No, so there's the pandemic special, which was episode 24.
I did not pay a tenner for one fucking episode, mate. It said, see...
It's the only one they've done.
What? Paid a tenner for that?
Yeah, you could have downloaded it. I've got it on my phone.
I thought it was a whole season. I thought, fuck me, 15 quid's cheap.
No, but you can also see how many episodes there are. You must be fucking
drunk. I wasn't drunk, mate. I just thought...
Bullshit.
I thought maybe they're doing like they do with Rick and Morty. They release one episode every month or something. Fuck me. I thought that's expensive for a single episode. Pandemic special.
How good was
Integrity.
How good was the pandemic special though?
Get away, the stick. Get away.
6 feet, mum, because it gets 6 fucking feet.
when he pretends to scream.
No.
He puts a picture of himself there.
The best bit is COVID related.
What's that one?
When they shoot Token. Token gets shot. And they say, it was a COVID related incident.
Oh,
Somebody is in the hospital
mate,
for COVID related symptoms. No, you shot him. Yes, due to COVID.
I like
how? Well, if COVID wasn't here, the teachers would still be here, which means we wouldn't be here. It's COVID related. I thought that was fucking brilliant. How they spanned that was so good.
Mate, Trey Parker and Matt Stone are geniuses.
They are geniuses. I'm devastated that they haven't done a Team America Part 2.
Because, mate, have you not heard their interviews on that? They're like, we'll never ever do that again. They said it was the most stressful, long-winded thing.
I bet it was.
Do you know how much money they're worth?
Oh, hundreds of millions.
700 million, over 1.5 billion between them.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. And they deserve it. I forgot how much stuff they've done. It's not just South Park.
No, they've done
America.
Yeah, they've got Book of Mormons. They've got stage shows. They've got comedies. They've got loads of stuff.
What's the other one he done? He done something else, man. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Great film.
You've
seen the remastered? I prefer the remastered one because it's got all the newer graphics.
Yeah, it's not like you
No, it's still got all of that in it. It's still got all.
But it looks like
it just looks better, yeah. Because the original Bigger, Louder, and Uncut came out midway through season 2.
Yeah,
South Park.
Season 1, 2, and 3. They hate it.
That was 1999. That film came out.
Yeah, it was. 99.
I think they remastered it in like 2005.
243 swear words or something.
It's fucking brilliant.
I remember in the paper. You had Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, the song.
Well, Simone's parents bought that for her on like tape, thinking it was a cartoon when they were like 6. It was like, oh, this looks funny.
Bigger. It actually, in the bottom of it, I remember it says warning.
Yeah.
Great big sign about warning.
Well, it's a 15 as well, so she should have fucking known.
Should have put 2 and 2 together there. And you need to find the clitoris. And he's like, all of a sudden he finds the clitoris. Hello, Stan. It's this big clitoris. Isn't it? It's like, wow.
It's so fucking messed
absolutely
up.
Amazing. No, you can change the subject. Donald Trump.
Oh,
what's going on with this?
Wow.
You ain't going down without a fight, mate.
Well, have you seen the latest stuff which he's just brought out? This changes the subject and changes the paradigm of life, potentially, from what he's just done. Okay, let's put my tinfoil hat on. Let's fucking go full Eddie Bravo on this bad boy. Okay, so a bill has passed through Senate, a 5,322 page document which has been signed off. It was labelled the COVID Relief Bill. And inside it basically was a stimulus check for $600 for everyone. Obviously they were pushing for 2,000, but Mitch McConnell fucking blew that up. Have you seen Mitch McConnell?
No.
He looks like something out of Walking Dead. And he stopped everyone from getting $2,000. But to be fair, $2,000 per person is a lot of money. Yeah. If you have a family of 4, so that's $2,000 per adult and $1,000 per child. So that's like $6,000 you would get, which is great. It would help out lots. But there are also 300 million people in the US.
340 now.
They can't afford that. That would put them into so much fucking deficit. It would be horrendous. So, but inside this COVID bill was a disclosure report for the Pentagon, the CIA, and the FBI. All 3 agencies within 180 days have to fully disclose all alien information. Everything they've ever got, they have to disclose it to the public.
when they go, nothing.
No, there's not.
Nothing.
So 2 years ago, the FBI released 2 million files onto their website.
Oh, mate.
2 million files.
Who the fuck's going to go for... Well,
no, that's the thing. That's what they were hoping. They were hoping by releasing 2 million, it would drown everything out and people would go, fuck that, I'm not reading through 2 million files. But people have. And inside those 2 million files, there are over 75,000 eyewitness reports from Navy officers, pilots,
I've seen that, one of the pilot ones.
Air traffic control, world leaders, presidents. I think something like the last 10 presidents have all known that UFOs exist. They've all done interviews, like Jimmy Carter did an interview, he said, aliens exist, we just don't know why they're here. And that was 60 fucking years ago.
Imagine if they're spying on you.
Well, the idea being is that, so what we think aliens are versus what they actually are is two very different things. If anyone thinks that I'm going down an absolute rabbit hole here, I recommend you watch 3 programs on Amazon Prime just to prove a point. First one being Unacknowledged by Stephen Greer. Great fucking documentary, it's about an hour and a half long. And it shows everything. It is the first fully disclosed documentary where they have government officials, pilots, air traffic control, all of the people who you would not want to admit that there are UFOs. It's not fucking some hick redneck from back ends of Mississippi or something. It's serious people, serious people. And they're saying that they have seen aliens. Yeah. And that they have had their lives threatened. They've had their pasts altered. So there's one guy, Bob Lazar. I don't know if you've heard of Bob Lazar. I've been on Joe Rogan several times.
I know he is.
It's he basically said, sorry, I just fucked the cameras up there. He basically said that back in the day he worked for a place called S4, Sector 4, which was part of Area 51.
I'd love to go see what's there.
So before he mentioned it, nobody even knew there was anything called S4. It was an unknown building. Nobody even knew what was inside Area 51. He comes out and says, I was hired by the government. I'm a rocket scientist. I was hired to undesign. What's the word for deconstruct? Work backwards from alien tech. Can't remember what the fucking word is.
Punch in the face for a living, mate. Next one. Fuck's sake.
So they
deconstruct.
So he was hired by the US government, taken to S4 where they had alien craft, and it was his job to
unbuild it,
and figure out how it fucking worked. He then after working there went, this is not right, the world should know this stuff exists and you're keeping it lock and key. They threatened to kill him if he told anyone. If he told him. Well, what he did is he went to the press, and he went to the press in a 100% undisclosed way. He made it as big as possible so that nothing could happen to him. He said, I don't want this fucking attention, but if I don't give it to myself, I will be dead tomorrow. By going on national TV, I am putting a target on my head, but I'm also putting cameras on me so people can't see me. And then people started to discredit him. They said, well, you've never been anywhere. You never went to MIT. You never went to Harvard. And he was like, well, here's my diploma. Here's my year school picture. Here's my girlfriend. Here's these messages. Here's these reports. Here's everything. They deleted his history to discredit him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy. They even said they couldn't even find his high school diploma. The guy's a rocket scientist. There was videos of him building rockets in his garage.
I'm surprised he didn't shoot himself 6 times in the head and throw
That's
himself
what Stephen Greer said. So Stephen Greer, someone said to him, he did an interview with someone really high up in the Air Force, and they said, I'm surprised you haven't killed yourself yet. And he goes, honestly, so am I. I've had so many of my friends who have been threatened or have committed suicide, and it's kind of like survivor's guilt. I feel like I have to do this to avenge their deaths.
Yeah, because obviously he didn't shoot himself 6 times in the head and throw himself off the building.
Seriously fucked up. Oh shit, my bad. So Where's my main camera gone?
I wonder if MI6 do that dirty shit. Well, what was that guy who didn't find the weapons? Remember that? What was that doctor that didn't find any nuclear missiles in Iraq, and he ended up dead, didn't he, of a suicide note?
Well, that's exactly the point. Like, they went over to Iraq thinking, oh yeah, we're going to find loads of missiles. Found nothing, but had started a war in the process as just an excuse to get into the fucking country. Yeah, but anyway, so going back to the subject. So Donald Trump has added this thing into the bill to say that the USA have to disclose all of their alien information. Go on Amazon Prime, watch Unacknowledged, which is the first documentary, which is all of the government details coming out. Is very well put together. It's got like high-level interviews and everything else. And then you want to watch Day After Disclosure, which is, again, it's free on Amazon Prime. Incredible. It basically shows what would happen to the world once aliens come out. Religion would fall through, economy would fall through, all industries would die, basically. And then Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Great film.
I've seen that.
I need to go for a pee. I was going to say, you are flying solo, bud. Let's go for a wee. Feel free to talk to the people.
Right, so I was thinking, I think I know why America themselves have actually kept this information. I mean, because obviously they're massively based on military power. I mean, they got their army now is bigger than any army's ever. I mean, they could take the whole world on, I expect. They've got so much stuff. The technology they got is just insane. Everything they got is just better than everyone else's. If they're keeping this alien technology, he's fucking full of shit, that cunt. But if they're keeping this alien technology, they're going to deconstruct it, whatever the word Joe was on about. They're going to use that to make better weapons. That's why, if they did have it, I don't know if they have or not, we'll see, we'll find out soon. I'm not really keeping my hopes up high for little green men in spaceships. But they can use that technology to advance their weapons, and that's why they don't want to let anyone else know. But there again, how come every alien ship only ever lands in the desert in America? Why don't we hear about anything in Russia, anything in China? Do they only like the Americans, or the aliens so clever they know the biggest threat is America because of its nuclear arsenal, its weapons, its satellites? You know what I mean? They could have tapped in with some secret technology. But if there is aliens, I'd like to know. It'd be quite cool. But it's not as cool as zombies. And zombies is my favourite subject. Like I said, Joe you'd let him have like a wooden whistle or something as his weapon because he can't be trusted with real weapons. Like, you know, firearm kit here. I'd probably have, you know, something like an AK-47, Joe, and have a wooden spoon and a rape whistle. So you can alarm us when zombies are in there. But if zombies are actually distracted to sound, we'll give Joe a really loud air horn to take him out quick. So he'd be like he's like the beta male of the group. He hangs at the back. So we sort of like, we'll get him taken out. Joe's one of those guys in, what do you call it? In The Walking Dead that puts his hand in a car and doesn't look, and then gets bit. Oh, and he grabbed the keys, looks away as he puts his hand in, gets bit, and he turns into a zombie. And he'd probably lie about, oh no, I never got bit. So I pull his sleeve down, you can't see the blood dripping out. But I'd have to slag Joe off, he can probably hear me. And I don't reckon he's having a piss either, because he's been there for quite a while. He's having here he comes, spies in the camp. Better change subject.
I was listening.
I know, I can see that. I know what you're like. Hop on in, Gatherer.
Gatherer my ass.
You got any comments on them, Ilfru? Anyone?
Yeah, loads. There's loads of people getting involved, but we'll say that till later.
Nasty? Yeah, I like nasty comments.
Anyway, so what you just said about weapons, the reason why that they haven't been advanced is because alien ships.
I said why they're taking apart to advance their weapons. I said.
Yeah, I know, but there are no weapons because they weren't coming here hostily. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
that's what it explains.
Technology. It doesn't mean they have to have a weapon. What I mean by weapon,
but their technology is so advanced
they can't even break it down.
And
that's
it is
what
literally,
I would say anyway.
If you took a nuclear reactor and dropped it in 1800s, every single person that tried to work on it would die instantly. They would literally go, "Oh, what's inside here?" Exactly.
Because it's got to be.
They don't understand the technology.
Well, it's not going to be the same as ours. Otherwise, we just
it's
spotted
invisible.
Years ago.
It's invisible. Like what they are using doesn't even interact with our physics correctly. So there is no hypothesis, no engineering technology, no way of stabilizing whatever the hell it is.
Figuring out how to take it apart.
Exactly. Well, like I said, if you put a nuclear reactor 200 years ago, every single science was like, here's an alien thing, fix it.
Mobile phone.
No, but it wouldn't kill them. Whereas the technology which we think would need aliens to be able to travel to us would be gravity tech. to the point where, like, say they have a ship, they can create a gravity well in front of the ship and they fall into the gravity well. That moves with them. They can fall at the speed of light and faster than the speed of light.
Well, they have to be to get to their planet before
Exactly,
they die.
but so a black hole creates a force faster than the speed of light. If you can create a black hole in front of your ship and fall into it infinitely, you will bend light. You will travel faster than the speed of light. That then also means that you're in a gravity field created by its own gravity, which means you can move in any fucking direction instantly. So when they see an alien ship doing 100,000 kilometers in one direction and do a direct right turn, it's because it's not running on our physics. It's running
That's what they saw. That's what that pilot saw, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Pilot saw that like that. Just an immediate
exactly.
turn.
So any tech like that would be so infinitely hard to break down. It would be impossible, and anyone that looked at it would fucking die. Basically, it would be like putting a nuclear reactor in 1800.
Who have they got on the kind of people you like that the intelligence of the people that even breaking this down. You'd never think of that yourself.
No, exactly.
You never thought that
No,
yourself.
but if you took the smartest man in the world back in 1800s and said, okay, right, here's a nuclear reactor. What do you need to protect yourself against whatever it's giving off?
Wouldn't know.
They wouldn't have a clue. They would go, well, there's nothing in there. There's a tiny little glowing light. Let me open it. Oh, that's fucking iridium or some bullshit.
Well,
and now I'm dead.
Yeah, that's actually that could be, that does make sense. But it would also, my theory still makes sense because that's probably why they're keeping it hid, so they can try. So you basically just prove my point.
Yeah, they're storing it. They're just
so they can work on it to, because not necessarily a weapon. What I mean by weapon, like you said, is how to get something flying and then they put a gun on it afterwards. That's what they do. Have you seen Independence Day 2?
Yeah.
That's basically what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But
that's
they
a fucking
were
great film. The first one.
Exactly, but they were saying that, like, obviously the alien ship itself physically moves around by people fucking moving levers and pushing buttons. They think that is, well, not that they think, they know the people who have worked on these people, like Bob Lazar, have said that they don't work off buttons. There isn't a normal joystick array. It's done via consciousness. It's infinite.
So that's so advanced. It's insane.
It's transdimensional. And like the way it was explained to me when I was talking to a friend about it, he said that if you had to be if you were a trans-dimensional being in the way that you could teleport places, what would be the first thing you do to teleport somewhere? So if you wanted to be at home right now, from here back to your house, what would be the first thing you do in your head?
Just picture where you're going.
That is consciousness. So you've created a picture in your mind.
That's what
you then have the tech around you, which can pull that consciousness out and then physically manifest you in that place.
But they still have to physically make it.
Yeah, no, but if they're potentially 100 million years more advanced than us, I think dolphins can have radar, bats have fucking like infrared vision and supersonic hearing. We can visualize like 0.1% of the visual spectrum of light. There is so much we can't see, so much we can't hear. If there was a part of our brain which could manifest our subconscious, along with the right tech, we would be able to teleport ourselves.
What's that film where he takes the pill? Limitless.
Yeah.
That'd be cool as fuck.
Well, have you seen Lucy, the Scarlett Johansson movie?
That's what I was on about. At the end, she becomes like a computer. You know what I mean?
So she visualizes wherever she wants to go, and she can teleport.
Yeah, that's what.
Down the consciousness.
I actually meant Lucy, not
Limitless.
Limitless. I apologise.
So that's the idea of basing behind the idea of transdimensional travel.
Making money would be quite easy, wouldn't it? Making money would be pretty easy.
Well, money would become pointless. This is the problem.
I mean,
so this is the major shift. This is the major shift, which is the problem. So Donald Trump releases this bill, which means that all alien life has to come out within the next 6 months. If they do put it on show that aliens do exist, that instantly changes all of human history. Yeah. Every single thing we've ever known is... There's no longer a conspiracy. The conspiracy is life. Our life is the fake story. Like the pyramids, turns out they were built by aliens. The Mayans, turns out they were built by aliens. Fucking God, Jesus, the star that was above Jesus, turns out was an alien craft.
Yeah.
How far back do we go?
Oh,
it manipulates the whole of history. It manipulates every single event.
Religion's gone, isn't it?
Religion's gone.
Oh, all those people. That
economy. No, but economy then is gone. Because why would people... Well, you say zombies. Why is money worth nothing in a zombie world? Because the banks are no longer in power. Do you think the banks are going to be in power if aliens are fucking here?
Well, how are you going to buy food otherwise?
There won't be food.
Why?
Because that's exactly the point. That's the thing. So if aliens are out and they say, right, aliens do exist, it changes the whole paradigm of life. The idea of eating, drinking, sleeping, going to work, buying food, buying this, money, banks, saving, everything means nothing because there is now a higher level than that. And if it turns out that it's a consciousness-based level where the species are so advanced that they can telepathically travel and create whatever the hell they want using their brain, food, you don't think, like aliens, if they traveled that amount of distance, they haven't got a packet of... Oh, I touched the button.
They still heard us, right?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, guys.
We're back in buzzing.
So they haven't got like packets of fucking ration food. They have the ability to manifest energy into their body. They can draw energy in from the surrounding universe
but we
to
can.
feed their body. But with the technology, and once we admit that aliens are around, we can then focus on actually trying to contact them.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Imagine if they go, right, aliens do exist, here's the fucking evidence, what we're going to do is we think we know how to contact them, we are going to contact them and get them to come back to us, and then we can learn from them. But that needs an entire world of consciousness to be able to do that. Because at the moment, why would they want to come and visit us? When barely a percent think of them, half of the world believe in a magical god, and the other half are too fucking ignorant to think of anything else.
That'd be cool as fuck, wouldn't it?
The world changes, the whole paradigm of the universe changes.
They might be able to make another parallel universe for us where zombies are there and they can give me space guns. and I get infinite lives. I get respawns.
Well, that's the thing, like...
and if I die, it's no pain. I don't want to be eaten from the fucking foot upwards.
Like I said, so the paradigm of what we know of normal life completely changes. We are no longer a working species based around an economy, which is the economy's bullshit anyway. The economy is manifested by fucking people way above us, and they are manipulating the shit out of us, and we are the tiniest little gears on the surface. There is 1,000 levels of different abilities, different fucking access, different levels of wealth, everything else in between us and the government, and above the government there's fucking way behind that. So they're saying like these Sector 4 stuff and Area 51, they're above reproach. Like the president isn't even allowed to know about it because he's a temporary position.
Yeah, because he's not there for...
He's not there for long.
It'd be the US generals and stuff.
Yeah, the people who have been there for 50 years, and even then, they aren't in charge of it. The government admitted in the US that over the last couple of years there is over $3 trillion of money that's unaccounted for.
That'd be for the...
alien stuff.
And military budget,
yeah. But they're also saying like, oh, we can scan Area 51 from satellites and not see it. And it's like... It's
not the same.
No, but you think that Area 51, the most highly developed military base, is going to be on the surface?
It's like fucking... underground. They've said it's underground.
Yeah, exactly. But they're like, oh, underground, what is in like tight little mine shafts? It's like...
No.
Why do you think it's mine shafts?
Have you not seen The Hive? What's that?
No, like look at if you look at a good underground train station in London, where it's literally size based, like you can have entire colonies and tunnels going for hundreds of fucking miles.
There we go, Resident Evil.
So you go into a nice little office building in Roswell, 10 miles away from Area 51. You go down a little fucking shaft, you park in, everything's great, you swipe your card, you go through the access levels, you get on a train underground that takes you to Area 51. That sounds so far-fetched. It's like, well, I can do that at Heathrow and I can be at fucking Trafalgar Square in 20 minutes. They're fucking 25 miles apart. And I'll get there under fucking ground.
Well, you got Operation Burlington and Box. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
Box,
well,
the old military base in the ground.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not military base.
It is, the old Queen. It's the Queen's.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the Queen's base.
The politicians, so they can still run the country. It's fucking cool.
If something happened. But you also said, I heard whilst I was away, you said, why haven't the Chinese, why haven't the Germans, why haven't they have?
Have they?
Yeah. But again, they have the exact same problem. There are more alien sightings in China than there are in the US, but we don't hear about them because they're not in our language.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
They're everywhere. They are worldwide. Do you know where is a massive alien site for us?
Where?
Stonehenge. There's a reason why it's a massive alien site, because it's coordinately linked to the pagans who used to ritualize their fucking consciousness and call out into the universe. I think they used to... Literally. No, but they used to pray to a god, and what if the god was an alien? If you get enough people all thinking the same mentality, projecting their consciousness into universe, and something hears it, you will try that again. And you will do that again and again and again
Imagine
and again.
if you all done it and he's like, oh.
Yeah, literally.
Just comes down a big shining beam.
They've done it. This is the crazy thing. So
a
again,
big beam of light
if
and
you
then
go
it comes
on,
down aliens.
if you go on YouTube and type in CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, Stephen Greer, he holds these huge events where they get loads of people together and they do circular meditation. They all sit, they all consciously project their thoughts. They have the same pattern of thought which they are all doing, and they record the whole thing with 360-degree cameras. And pretty much every single time they see something, whether it being something that moves in weird shapes in the sky, orbs appearing. They've got crop circles physically manifesting in fields.
What?
So they were told to think about, and so they have a logo for the CE5. It's essentially a triangle with dots in it, with balls in each corner. Very strange arrangement. It's very unique to them. And they were all talking and thinking and projecting this image. And in the background on one of the cameras, it literally sunk into a fucking field.
What? So it's landed?
Yeah.
Got to, man. I'd like to know the technology for,
it's fucking scary.
For invisibility.
Have a look.
Like the Americans, reckon the Americans would use that for the force of good, or would they make soldiers that are invisible?
Let me see if I can find it.
Do you know what I mean? They just make soldiers that are invisible. I'd like to. Change the camera to me.
Yeah, my bad.
That's what I'd love to see what. I mean, personally, if someone goes, I can show you invisibility. I know some of my friends are perverts, and they'd be like in the girls' toilets and shit like that. Some of them probably mould their face into a toilet. But no, imagine being a soldier where you're invisible. You're absolutely invisible. Mm-hmm. You're indestructible, apart from the fact if they just spray bullets like Rambo, he might catch you. Do you know what I mean?
I want to find this.
But you could take anyone out if you're invisible. You could beat the best fighter in the world if you're invisible until he grabs hold of you. But if you can just keep hitting him and moving, breathe quietly, you'd be alright. I mean, imagine that, being invisible. Fucking rob banks a lot, wouldn't you?
Well, this is so this actually leads on to something else which I was thinking, and it's funny that you say that, because so if you gained this superpower, you would instantly use it for doing bad things, breaking into shit, stealing shit, killing people.
I don't know if I would do it for bad, mate. I think I'd help people out too.
Exactly.
But you always think of the naughty stuff because you're not meant to.
So every superhero movie where the bad guy gains a power, it instantly goes, I could be really wealthy. They rob a bank, the good guy interrupts it, and it sets the bad guy on a path of vengeance towards the good guy. He becomes the bad guy. He becomes the bad guy. Like, think, what was the one I was watching the other day? Spider-Man 3, the original ones with...
I was going to say Wonder Woman.
No, Spider-Man... No, I haven't seen the old one. So,
no, 1984 is the new one.
Have you seen the new one, have you?
That's the one.
Have you seen it?
Mate. Have you seen it, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
so the girl is the perfect
woman.
What, gal?
Yeah.
No, so you know the one which the girl that goes bad.
Oh yeah.
She gets Wonder Woman's powers and instantly turns bad.
Yeah, I don't know
She doesn't
why,
use
though.
them for good because she gets excited and she suddenly's like, oh my god, I can beat that guy up. Oh my god, I can steal stuff. I'm stronger than the police. They won't need to you can't arrest me, whatever.
Cheetah.
You become the bad guy. And it's the same in every fucking comic book, every superhero. The guy who gains powers goes, wow, I can now finally do whatever I want. Not going, wow, I need to use these for good. See, which is why someone like Peter Parker,
if you wanted to make money, you
rare.
You just go to talks. people would advertise you, give you anything you wanted if you had these superpowers. Do you know what I mean? Why would they not? Still? If all of a sudden I said, Joe, you got super strength. And they set up a show for you just to throw fucking 3 tons in the air. You don't have to be bad.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, but
you're going to be drenched in puss anyway. You got to go for, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but if you show superhuman strength, at what point will you then be either approached by someone who's bad or approached by the police or whatever?
You'd be approached by the government, wouldn't you?
Well, you'd be approached by the government and you'd be hacked apart and fucking be like a science study. Which is why then they go to superheroes where they hide their identity, because if their identity is known, they will literally be the government will want whatever they have.
If you can lift 5 tons and your skin's impenetrable, who's going to kidnap you?
No, but who's to say the government then won't make you the bad guy? They'll spin that you're the bad guy to get the public to fucking hate you.
It make a difference. What are they going to do?
People are still human. Their emotions will still...
Yeah.
And then
I find it very hard.
When the government spin that, you then become the bad guy. You then want to try and create retribution. You want to get your good name back. But then someone will always try and bring you down.
What they'll do is they'll say, but what have he turned? What have he turned?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they'll do.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with Superman.
Have you not seen...
If you watch the Superman...
I was going to say The Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. What a film.
TV show.
That's a series, sorry.
Yeah.
Great.
Exactly.
Season 1 and 2. Oh.
But it shows that the good guys are the bad guys,
Ah.
but they're just under a government guise or a corporation guise because they're making money. Whereas every bad villain in there is doing it for themselves.
Oh, guess who kills Homelander?
What?
Oh, you didn't know! You little pathetic virgin, Joe. You don't...
You're a cunt.
Right.
What, so this is, what, from the original comic book?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know how it finishes. Homelander, turns out, has a brother.
Okay.
Forgot the name of the bastard, that's the problem. What's the one that's Shadow, or he's dressed up in black?
Noir. Black
Black Noir.
They're brothers.
Yeah, he was built to destroy Homelander if he went off the rails.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he rips him apart.
Oh.
Which is amazing because Noir got fucked up by that woman.
Yeah, exactly.
She was weak as fuck.
Exactly. But
well,
Homelander can beat him. Well, Homelander would lose, but the woman can beat him.
When Homelander was shagging that girl, was it? The Nazi bitch, right?
Yeah.
He's like, and he gets that by his face. As he blows his load, he goes, just crushes his face. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, just folds his face in. When I first watched it, I had no idea. I was like, oh, the boy, what's this? Didn't even read. Click on it.
Mate.
And then he goes to kiss his girlfriend.
Yeah.
A-train.
I know. And he's just left there holding her hand.
I'm just like,
bones and shit. It's like, wow. I showed that to the missus. She was just like, what the fuck is this? It's the best film ever. It was the best program ever.
Yeah, it was. Oh, and then what's that guy? It was so weird. Like when the woman gets fucking eye lasers her face in for lying about the baby and shit.
What, his boss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's that? After that, she's back. Oh, was it fate? Oh, it's a man pretending to be her.
Yeah, it's a doppelganger.
That is fucking
creepy.
Weird. And that guy with the big dick that strangles people.
Yeah. Well, you can just make any limb, can't he?
Oh, mainly his dick down there.
Yeah, he's gonna do it.
Take his dick round
if you could stretch any limb, that would be the one which you show off with.
The hands would be quite useful to stretch. You know when things are behind bars, you can think for bad.
Why would you be behind? Yeah, you're thinking about being bad again.
No, I told you because you just brought it up. You can't fucking go bad.
So you would go bad rather than go good.
I'd go good, and I would try and do what I said. But
You
like
reckon?
I said to you, if it went bad, and I was like Superman, if someone like the government tried, I would kill them all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wipe
exactly.
the whole government
Yeah,
out.
you wouldn't be like.
You'd have to start again.
You wouldn't be like Superman. They know not what they know.
I'd make but the things I can go live on TV because I can make anyone do it, or I just shred their skin off.
Yeah, but the moment you start shredding people's skin,
yeah,
you're
but
the
I
bad
go
guy.
there and I'm going to say
No one. No, but the government
is lying.
Yeah. But I have just killed all these innocent people with this news.
No,
You have just killed all of these innocent people.
I'll tell them why. So look.
Yeah, because the government's trying to repress me. That's the thing. You become the bad guy.
You have no choice. You have to become, to clear your name.
You need
have
to be
do stuff bad.
like fucking Neo. You need to be.
But you could also.
You need to be religiously calm with the anger thrown at you, so you can just be like, you know what you know, and I'm gonna be good, whatever, and do everything you can. But
if Boris Johnson gave you orders, mate, you would be laser beamed through the face. Jeremy Corbyn would get laser beamed just for being Jeremy Corbyn. Oh, Jezza, I'm joking. He's a Chipman man, isn't he? Chipman boy. Local fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So what else happened this year? Jump back to the Trump thing, for fuck's sake.
Okay, yeah, we've gone off topic.
So, you don't want you went off what,
yeah,
aliens
my
and
bad.
shit.
I went off down a fucking
sake.
alien tunnel on that one.
Right, so on the
I do
6th,
apologise.
there's like a court hearing or something to see if they have to, all the swing states, you have to recount all the votes or
They've
something.
already counted.
They recount them.
They counted again. Like, they've literally found no form of corruption.
Well, they found nothing. I think they found.
If I had to,
they found something. It was on the fucking. There's a reason it's coming. They found something that didn't like. There was only a certain amount of allocated voters in this place, and they got more votes and stuff. And that can't be happening.
well, what they basically, have you seen Death to 2020 on Netflix?
No, I can't be fucked to watch it.
It's funny. It's very good. So, it's they basically said that in the swing states, the ones which were most crucial, they did the voting backwards. So all we saw was Trump lead and then Biden catch up. In every other year past, they've counted the mail-in votes soonest, as soon as they come in, because it's like, nah, whatever. That's only going to be 100,000. That's not going to be much. So they do the mail-in votes, someone takes an early lead, and whoever then catches up. In this case, it went whoop, Trump, and then they started catching the mail-in votes, and the mail-in votes
because he told them all to vote.
He told them to mail in. So you are going to get way more votes that way. So he was like, we want to stop the count, we were winning. It's like, Yeah, well, if you count winning at half-time winning, then you're not really winning.
No,
you might be winning,
That's
you
how
haven't
it
won.
works.
Exactly.
Even
But they were like, so then they were saying stop the count, and now they're demanding a recount, and it's like you can't have it both ways. But the fact that Giuliani, who's fucking that guy's a fucking creepy, weird-looking insect.
He sniffs children's hair. Biden.
Yeah, I know, but it's what Biden has been doing and been. I think that there is some sort of mental dementia in there, 100%.
I mean, Cud falls asleep. Oh shit!
Yeah.
He is
But like
74,
being
he's an old
overly
man.
touchy is something which people with dementia do. They don't realise that that's what they're doing. There's like my granddad had dementia and he used to grab the nurse's ass. He didn't, or he used to get fucking aroused if a girl came anywhere near him because his basic hormone levels had no filter. As soon as a girl comes near him, he instantly gets a testosterone spike and his libido climbs. Can't help it. As much as you tell yourself not to, that's a physical human chemical
I mean, that happens to everyone when a hot girl comes in.
Exactly. So imagine having dementia and having no control over your emotions. You get ridiculously angry real quick and ridiculously horny just as fast.
Caveman, me, child, woman.
Yeah, well, it's a prehistoric fucking node in your brain which just fires off chemicals. So yes, he's done some weird shit. Do I think he'll be better than what Trump has currently? Yes. Will he last longer? Hell no. Will Kamala Harris take over? Absolutely.
That's what I reckon.
Yeah,
that was her
which
way
is
in.
absolutely fine. Like, people go, yeah, well, she used to work as a fucking this, that, and the other, and she put more black people in prison. It's like, yeah, that was her job.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's like, guess what? And now,
Is she
as
the
a
right
different
person
job, she will be
for the
better
job?
for everybody.
Yeah.
If your job is to put people in prison, and she turned around and goes, oh, I can't put black people in prison because I'm part black, you go, well, you're definitely wrong for the job. And now people are saying she's bad for the vice president because she put black people in prison. It's like, what, so should she let them all go off? Because that would be fucking racial discrimination towards white people. And being overly friendly towards people who have committed crimes.
I mean, the press have been against Trump since day dot.
Yeah, no, well, some of the press, and both
Well,
ways.
apart from Fox.
Yeah, but he still slags off Fox.
He don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He'll
slag off everybody.
He doesn't care.
I do think it's very strange. Like, the whole situation is fucked up. I don't think he's not got a leg to stand on. He's getting kicked out of office in a week.
He's got to be kicked out.
And he's gonna go kicking and screaming.
What's that look there? I watched it. Trump's path to glory.
Yeah.
Right, and they're on about you can't be a felon and be president.
No, well,
It's one of the laws. But I think Trump changed the law back in 2018, something to do to make the crime that his son done or something.
yeah, well, he's given his son a pardon. His son, like, now that people obviously have looked into their path, they've found they have done some dodgy shit, and he's pardoned everyone. He's given them a presidential pardon.
Who? Trump?
Well, he's given like his lawyers and stuff like that. His fucking son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is it? I think he's given him a fucking presidential pardon. He'll probably give himself one.
Can you do that?
I don't know. I think
I'd be cool as fuck. Commit murder.
But people are saying that once he is out of the job of president, he hasn't got long left on the streets. Because now by putting himself in such a high point of power, he has drawn attention to all of the bullshit he did in the past, and the taxes they're gonna come look into him way more than normal, and he will go down for something.
I don't know, but I ain't got fucking foggiest.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I just see what I see on the news and it's all dribble.
Yeah, it is. It's some fucking bollocks.
Do you know what I mean?
Also, changing the subject again, happy Brexit Day.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I've got the paper in the car. I'm going to read it on the way and see what happened. About Brexit, for anyone who's... Fuck, everyone knows what Brexit is now. Fuck's sake. We got a deal now. We got a deal, apparently. I'm interested to see what it was.
Yeah.
Really interested to see. I think we had a bit more say than what people thought we had, actually.
The Remainers, who hated the idea of Brexit, are going, wow, that's a good deal.
I couldn't believe it.
Once we streamline the paper system and the customs forms getting over to France for lorries and stuff like that, then it opens up all of the avenues. Like, we will then be able to make better trade deals with this, better trade deals with that. We'll be able to drop some of the EU legislation and red tape, which has stopped our stuff doing what it's doing. And like, they showed a graph which showed EU profits being inside the EU, and it was a dead flat line because it's governed by the EU. And it said without the EU, and it dropped us by 4%, and then it flattened off, and it's like, no, it's going to drop a little bit, and then it's going to
go back up,
and it's going to shoot way past the EU because we will now be able to make money for ourselves.
I was also going to think, a lot, like, I don't know, like, if you ever watch, do you listen to LBC Radio?
No. I know which one it is. That's the London.
James O'Brien on there.
Yeah.
And
Farage is on there quite a lot.
Yeah, Farage is brilliant, mate. He makes you laugh. It's fucking
I know
speeches.
you're a Farage fan, aren't you?
I love the cat bars of Farage, baby. I like Jacob Rees-Mogg,
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I think it's hilarious. No,
I like politicians with balls, and that's why you like Trump, because he's
got people who don't give a fuck. Just tell it how it fucking is.
Sometimes you need
answer.
someone with an actual political brain to make key decisions, and that's where Trump's fucked up.
I can't stand it when politicians don't just tell, like, they'll never answer a fucking question. They'll never ever just go yes, no. They'll do something else to move it all around and change it.
Seeing if you've got any comments, guys, as well. My bad. Yeah. Sorry, I was staring at my phone.
No, I want a politician that comes out and just tells it exactly how it is. You've heard him like, and fuck me, some of the Labour, like David Lammy, what a cunt he is. Oh, you're talking, and Diane Abbott, fuck me. Someone once said, Diane Abbott, it's like playing a pigeon at chess. Having a debate with Diane Abbott is like playing playing chess against a pigeon. And fuck, I got out. And then I said, what do you mean? And they go, well, a pigeon will walk around on the board, knock a load of thing over, shit on the board, then make out it still won. And I was like, that's Diane Abbott. Everything Diane Abbott does, no matter, it could be about, should we lower the tax on this? Oh, you don't know what racism I have to go through. No, what about fucking tax? And you have to bring racism to everything. You're a fucking moron. And David Lammy as well. I understand a little bit of what he was saying with the comic relief. Remember that? The comic relief when he's like, we don't need a white saviour going to Africa. Well, 87% of these people in this country are white. So what, we should be not allowed to represent 87% of our country going over there and helping them. I understood his point a little bit, but it's like, mate, you're taking money away from people just because we put a white person out there. So now they're not having anything to eat and drink or having any gifts off us because you're a bit of a prick.
Yep.
And then he's like, well, why didn't you go and do it? Oh no, that's not the point. We should be getting someone from their country to do it. Yeah, but we're the ones given money. We want to see someone of our own go over there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why would you... I've never got that. I've heard lots of people debate of it and I just call horseshit or whatever they say. It's like, well, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
If we're the ones given, why can't we be seen as the ones given? So what, we're going to give all our money, we'll give it to them, this one. We give Pakistan like 600 million every year or something in aid. We give China fucking aid.
That's madness.
Their economy is like 5 times the size. I know given per person, they're nowhere near as rich. But let them fucking sort that out. Their economy is like halfway to America's now. They're like 7 trillion. Fucking let them sort it out. Why should we have to give money to fucking China? Do you know what I mean?
100% agreed. And the fact is, that's why we're good to be at the EU in the way that we can say what we're going to spend our money with.
Don't give fucking aid to countries that have got an economy 3 times. I think ours is like, we're not far behind Germany. Germany is richer than us, right? Japan, America, and China. That's it. They're the only ones with a 5th. That's it.
And we are way smaller.
By miles. We're like the only small... Well, Japan's pretty small. But it's bigger than England. That's the thing. They got a much higher population, like 120 million or something.
Yeah, but they're also on Japan's border, on China's border, so...
That's
that
why
influx of materials...
That's why now... Well, China and Japan fucking hate each other, mate.
I know, but they still buy from each other.
Do they? Because
I'm pretty sure they do.
They fucking hate each other. Google it, because I wouldn't know that. Because that's why they got the Japanese Defence Force. They're worried about China
Let me have a little look. So
getting retribution from World War II when they went over there and killed them all for no reason.
China trade.
Do they?
This is where we need a young
This is why we need like Jack over there on a computer. How
Jack.
do you spell China?
Asia Pacific countries, including Japan and China, and 10 other members of the ASEAN signed a regional trade deal. And this was back in November. So yeah, they got a good trade deal.
Good trade deal? Yeah, because I know they absolutely despise you. That's why...
Yeah, they hate... Yeah, but we could... If someone from the outside go, England and Germany, they fucking hate each other.
No, they don't. Oh, no, but they actually do.
Yeah, I know.
No, there's a difference. No, I watched a whole film, a whole documentary of them going around asking Japanese people what they're most scared of. China.
Oh, yeah, of course they are.
That's why they got that new... That's why their military now is
the Chinese...
I think their military is more powerful than ours now.
Oh, yeah, but ask the Chinese, what are you guys most scared of? They won't say Japan.
No, they're not scared of Japan, are they?
Exactly.
They fucking swallow them alive.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got one who's so big and arrogant and like brash about the fact that they can kill the fuck out of everybody, China, and you've got Japan who's scared as fuck and is like the little bitch friend, but does everything for China. They help China as much as they can, and in return get a little bit of scraps, but that scraps is still fucking worth third position in the world economy.
In there, I Google the biggest economy. I'm pretty sure Japan's not that far behind China. Yeah. Japan's got a monstrous because they make obviously cars.
Yeah, well this
they make everything cool.
So because China's got such shitty trade deals with EU, China, America, and us, we don't have Chinese cars. Have you ever seen a Chinese car on the road?
No, they're probably shit.
Yeah. No, one, they're shit. Well, they used to be shit.
They're not so bad now. Apparently their quality control's gone up a lot.
Yeah, massively. But we still won't see their cars on the road because they're branded really badly.
But not only that, they've also got huge tariffs.
Exactly.
So one thing I thought Donald Trump did do well, right? I don't know how it worked out in the end. I don't know the end result. But he put tariffs on Japanese, on Chinese, or any foreign material that you could buy in America. Yeah, agreed. You put tariffs on them to make sure you could only buy American. I thought it was a clever idea. Apparently, I don't know, someone was telling me on the phone the other day, I haven't seen their name, Mike Wheeler, but he was saying, he was saying that that's actually ruined America because they couldn't buy these cheap products. But how's it ruined if it's sent money, kept money back in, keep the economy booming?
Well, it is. Well, because then, you know, you think you're buying something for 10p and suddenly you've got to start up an entire business just to be able to manufacture thing, and you can only manufacture it at 20p. You've got the huge industrial cost of building the ability to be able to mine it, and then the product still costs twice as much. So obviously that ability to be able to go, you've already got a factory, we'll buy your cheap shit, or we're going to build our own factory and we still won't be able to make it as cheap as you guys because our labour fees are so much higher.
Yeah, because
our working conditions are so much better.
That's why you put tariffs on the.
Yeah, absolutely, which is absolutely fair. But it does mean that the economy in the US will take a hit in that way. But once it then stabilises and becomes self-sufficient, it will grow faster.
That's what they were trying to do, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was a clever idea. I thought,
yeah, but that's like saying, okay, should we start up our coal mines again? So instead of having to buy UAE fuel out of the Arab Emirates. We don't want to fucking turn Newcastle back into a coal mine.
Or Wales, I was thinking of famously.
The world, like England, was a fucking smog pit.
Yeah, we don't want that anyway.
No.
But I like the idea that they're on about now. You got that back, you know, what's that nuclear power point in? They got two of them. Oh,
Avoncliff one.
No, down by Bridgewater. Hinkley Point. Like I say, you got Hinkley Point. You got that
new
one.
Decommissioning Hinkley Point.
No, they just built it. Massive one.
Have they?
Like the biggest.
Is it not? No, have they not? Have they built one next to Hinkley Point, but decommissioned Hinkley Point?
I don't know. I don't know if you can even decommission a fucking properly
nuclear facility.
You can even do that properly without only being. But I think nuclear power is the way to go.
Yeah,
it's fucking amazing.
It is. Now that we're in 2020, we have the tech to be able to. 2021, we have the tech to be able to keep that shit together. A power plant built in the 60s and 70s. No, it's going to be hard because you got to remember as well, we physically need more power. So if we are trying to ramp up these older power stations up to modern levels of usage, they're going to go wrong at some point. They're going to overheat, they're going to explode, they're going to yada, yada, yada. If you build a brand spanking new one, which is designed to keep up with today's usage, it will be more efficient than anything built in the past. That's the way it is. If you try and plug a phone in to power sockets designed 70 years ago, it ain't gonna fucking work. Exactly the same.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. They're on about China. I think Elon Musk, who's one of my fucking heroes, was on about that China. If they built enough solar panels in the middle of it, because they live most of them around the coast, which is the same as every fucking country behind. They've got one and they're not landlocked. It's the Germans. Are they landlocked as the Germans? They got massive.
Germans got a little bit on the northern coast.
Yeah, it can't be much.
Switzerland's fully landlocked, obviously.
Yeah, well, they don't have to worry. They make good, cheese, chocolate, and watches. So
they also have
cheese, chocolate, and watches, baby.
But they also have a free trade deal, and they're able to keep their own money, which is why they're as strong an economy as they are for such a small country.
Do you remember when everyone was saying, "Oh man, you're racist because you don't want the euro"? How the fuck?
No, not at all. I'd never heard that. I'd never heard it.
I've actually heard someone say that.
Really?
You don't want to be part of the
seems retarded.
It is, mate. Well, so is most of the fucking arguments both sides. Do you remember when the Remainers said that there was going to be World War III because Russia would try and invade us because they wouldn't be as strong? Part of fucking NATO. Yeah. What does being a part of the EU got to do with that?
Well, I don't think people want a war anymore. And
no one wants a war. It's retarded.
This again plays into my alien idea. So you said that why do aliens always appear in the desert in the US? And they always appear near nuclear sites. And they've got record, and this is genuinely fucking true, they've got record of nuclear missiles they were about to test. They see something in the sky, and it shuts their missiles down. Their missiles, and they'll have 5 missiles running on independent systems, and all of them will shut down in sequence.
Mad, isn't it?
From something else. Something extraterrestrial is shutting down their missiles because they're going, you're going to destroy your fucking planet if you keep pissing around with these things, and we're here to fucking make sure you don't do
what
that.
they look like.
So, this is one of those crazy things, which again, I've watched a couple of programs on it, and our bodies are incredibly crazy things. What happens to our bodies if we put ourselves in different environmental situations? Our bodies physically change. We essentially evolve on a really fast scale. So if you took a human being naked and dumped them in a forest, but they somehow managed to survive for 5 generations, by the 5th generation, we would be hairy again. Because we get cold, we would need the hair. Our body would physically start producing more hair follicles over our body to keep us warm. Like my pig, Milo, in winter, he grows more hair.
Well, same as dogs.
Same as dogs, same as everything.
Fucking
They physically get hairier. If you put a human in space, within a couple of months, their skeleton starts to degrade.
Yeah,
because their brain goes, why the fuck are we producing all this calcium to keep our bones alive? We don't need it anymore. So it starts to fucking shrink your bones. You become skinnier, you become lighter, you become more fragile. What's the common the look of aliens? Grey, skinny and tall. No gravity, you stretch out. You get skinnier because you have no bone mass. Well, you don't need muscles because everything weighs fuck all.
Do you know when you sleep at night, you actually get taller? Because you relax, there's no gravity.
No gravity to crush you down,
so
exactly.
But
by the time
you lay down and you wait there for a long time, you will stretch out.
But your bone fibres haven't physically fused back together, and as soon as you stand up, they
go back down again.
Exactly, but if you spent years in space, you would elongate. Also, you've only got...
Sounds like you're naming Bill Gates' son.
Elongate. if Elon Musk and Bill Gates were gay lovers.
Elongates, yeah.
Elongates.
Elongates, yeah. You know what I mean?
That's funny, I like that.
I like to sort them out.
The quintessential alien look is big head, because they've got big brain capacity, and big eyes. Why would you get big eyes?
Big eyes, I don't know, actually that one's... I know why you get big brain.
Well, big eyes because you're in space, there's no light. Your
of course, yeah.
Physically absorb
the sun.
light. No, but the sun doesn't light space. The sun is a point in the sky.
It reflects off stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't reflect off the empty space between the fucking stars. So you are literally in an artificial light environment. Your eyes would change. If you swam around under the water 25 meters deep for 100 years, your eyes would grow because it has to adapt to bigger light. So stick a human in space, the skeleton will grow, the skeleton will shrink, the body will elongate. Also, no proper light, so no vitamin D. What would happen to your skin?
Sorry, mate.
What would happen to your skin?
I only had 1 bottle of beer. Jack's full of shit. Just that mess.
So, if you've got no vitamin D, what would happen to your skin? Go pale. Very pale. So the traditional look of an alien is white, long, skinny, big head, big eyes. That's evolutionary fucking... That is evolution in a nutshell. If you submerge your hand in water for 10 minutes, what happens to your fingertips?
Oh yeah.
Why does that happen?
For grip.
For grip. Your body is physically changing in 10 minutes. So Ross Edgley, the bodybuilder, swimmer, challenge guy, he swam around the UK. It took him a whole year to swim around the UK. By the time he got out of the water, he was developing scales.
Scaly hands and shit.
No, scaly everything. Because essentially his body was breaking down in the water because his skin was getting so saturated it was flaking off and peeling off, but it was scarring and healing back and hardening. And by the end of it, the back of his neck, he had ridges which resembled scales. That is your body changing to toughen to the current surroundings.
Shows you how badass humans are, aren't they?
Massively. But it shows that we can force the evolution of ourselves by putting ourselves in different situations. So aliens would look the way they do because that's the environment they come from. You know, like black people started in Africa, gradually moved towards Europe, the sun changed, the climate changed, our skin got lighter because we had less vitamin D. It used it, so it decided we need to absorb it all, so it produced less melanin over hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years. That's what happened. It's like you can change skin tones inside 2 races, inside 2 generations. If I had a kid with a black girl, my kid would come out a different colour. If that kid then has a kid with somebody else, that skin will be different colour. That is evolution. Hair colour, skin type, eye colour, different genetics. Your hands are a perfect example of evolution.
Well, they're designed to punch.
Exactly. But you've hit stuff with them so many times, your body has gone, we need to toughen those fuckers up.
Oh, that's
and it's produced more calcium.
Breaks, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's exactly the point. It's now producing more calcium around the bones in your fingers and your hands to make sure that you have more chance of survival. When you have kids, the likelihood is that genetic might get passed on.
What, slab hands?
Slab hands, yeah.
And a massive dick.
I don't know about that kid.
I'm like a wasp.
Push the button on the camera again. That one, yeah, just in case it fucks. How are we all doing, guys? We enjoying your New Year's?
We got any nice comments?
Yeah, let's have a look at some comments.
See if anyone wants to talk about a certain subject.
It's 2:30 already. I hope you guys are enjoying. We haven't had a massive amount of people join in, but we've had 157 plays, which is absolutely fine by me. It is only day one.
We've got 1,000 subscribers.
We've got lots of fucking comments coming through. Some of the usual fucking suspects. Benjamin Statterley's in there. Yeah. He's always going to be in there somewhere. I'm sure Renz is in there somewhere as well. We go back to the beginning.
Someone all looks.
Got someone called Rojogan. Nice.
Rojogan. Sure it's not Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh.
I like a good Rogan Josh. Good man, Rogan Josh.
Like the curry. I might get a vindaloo on the way home.
Really?
Ugh, fuck it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's lots of comments, mostly about my alien stuff. I guess we got some alien guys. People agreeing, mate. People agreeing. Watch the Zeitgeist, smoke some DMT, and you'll do. I want to have a go at it. I got a friend that wants. Yeah, no, I've got a mate and get me some as well. Buy a telescope. I make headstones. Says buy a telescope and look at Andromeda Galaxy with your own eyes. Pretty easy to see there are other things going on.
I've always said
I agree.
There's got to be. I've like you said, but for them to be here, they have to have such advantage. I've always said that. Yeah. For us not to see them, they must have amazing technology because we can't. We fucking struggle to get the moon. Yeah. And land on the moon. So imagine what their technology must like to come here. That's what I've always said.
Their technology is transcendent of physics. It doesn't travel in straight lines. They don't go from their place to our place and travel through all of the cosmic radiation and everything between there and here.
No, they just bend space.
They bend space via either consciousness or
like what famous film? What famous films have bend in space?
Interstellar.
Oh, come on, call a film. Back 1987.
Bend in space.
Event Horizon.
Oh yeah.
When they actually go into hell. Oh, that's fucking amazing film that is. Event Horizon, what? It's been after. That is amazing. They go in there and it's just like, it was actually that video they were sending to him was actually a warning, not a help signal, wasn't it? Don't fucking come to this shithouse bastard.
Yeah, but obviously, what language do you speak?
They were speaking in Latin.
Yeah, well that's what the aliens were speaking in. But that would be deciphered.
It wasn't aliens, was it? It was hell. Oh. They actually ended up going to hell. That's where they were speaking in Latin. Oh. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Oh, because all devils are Roman.
This is just what they said, right? and his back scuttling him, and he's bumming his ass. His eyelids have been cut off and shit. It's like, oh. And that was why it all went bad at the end, wasn't it? Terrible. Great
I watched the film fucking long time. I'll have to rewatch it.
Oh, mate, it's amazing. It's nothing like I remembered it as a kid.
No, exactly. That's the thing. I need to rewatch it.
I just thought it was a horror movie, and I didn't realise what it was till you actually watch it back.
Oh, mate, that's the way it is with most films.
Another great film about aliens. More bugs.
Which one?
Starship Troopers.
Oh, yeah. So, but again, that's the idea, that's the paradigm which they want us to think about. They want us to think that aliens are vicious and that we can beat them. That's literally like Trump created Space Force purely for interplanetary dominance. That is literally his fucking tagline. No, not the slightest.
Well, but they can't even debunk the technology. But by chance you got.
Convincing people that we need it, it instantly means that if we see a flying object, you would then demand that an RAF fighter jet chases that fucking thing.
You ain't got a chance.
No, you haven't got a chance. But to the alien, that's hostile activity, and to us, if we get within shooting distance of it, we would try and bring it down. That's a declaration of war.
Yeah, that doesn't go well.
Not invite the fucker down to talk to it.
No, that's what I thought.
Because if it's here, it isn't here to kill us. It's more advanced.
Like
than
on
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Was it no?
If you want the original.
Like Independence Day 2, you shoot that innocent ship that had great technology that could add the technology to show them how to win.
They shot it down, but it didn't need to be shot down because it was
there to help them.
Yeah.
And they shot it for no reason.
I need to rewatch Independence Day 2.
It's amazing, mate. Yeah. Great film. When they get on the ground troops, that's fucking awesome. They obviously couldn't do that in the first one because the technology was
technology.
But now, obviously, in the second one, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Taking them out, it's fucking brilliant. I'd love that. That'd have been fun for half an hour as well, taking on aliens.
I don't know. I think they would cut through you in a second. Like
Oh,
they don't even need weapons. They would be trans-dimensional. They would be able to go, oh, he's going to shoot at me. I'll disappear and I'll reappear inside him, and you just die.
Yeah,
blow you up. Just looking at him is enough. If all he's got to do is think about traveling, if to travel across the universe, they've just got to think about traveling. Or if they need to kill you, they could just literally picture killing you, and you die.
You just explode.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. What fucking film was
that? Well, you could just phase out a dimension.
Oh, Mr. Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
That's what I was on about.
If they have the ability to phase between dimensions...
That's what he does, doesn't he?
Yeah. If they have the ability to phase...
You should have just said aliens are like Dr. Manhattan.
If they have the ability to phase between dimensions, which is a vibrational frequency, every atom in this entire universe is vibrating at a very specific frequency. If that frequency changes by anything in either direction, the world falls apart. That's the physics we know.
Like denoise.
Oh yeah, you just break apart. Your atoms.
Make some shit.
If you unmagnetized your atoms from each other, you would disintegrate instantly into nothing, because every single atom would then become its own entity.
Its own beast, yeah.
Its own entity, and you can't physically see an atom, so every single part of you would just break apart.
Like Dr. Manhattan. Once again, I'm going to keep going back to you.
So if you have the ability to send out a vibrational frequency which can disrupt other vibrations, then you're dead instantly.
In fact, he's probably the most powerful superhero ever, isn't he?
Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, well, he lives outside of the realms of physics.
Well, yeah, because he can just deconstruct anything he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing, mate. It's fucking deconstruct. Yeah, he could probably do that alien shit.
But it's all down to brain power. He hasn't actually... What causes his powers? His brain does. Everything you do... Your hands are as powerful as they are because your brain tells them to be as powerful as they are. That's as simple as that. So your brain is the real weapon. So if you can make your brain a super brain, you will be able to do anything to anybody. Why is this fucking heater not working?
It's actually making me more cold.
I know. I swear I'm actually getting colder.
Yeah, it is. It's drawing the heat away, man. Look, my knees are getting cold now, for fuck's sake.
It's because we've been sat down for so long.
Do you know what I mean? Talking about aliens and shit.
It says it's fucking working, but it definitely is not.
Sounded like he was killing a squirrel then, didn't it?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't know how to kill a squirrel because he's a gatherer. I'm the hunter, remember that? He would be like a glory hole for 500 men.
You're a cunt.
Whereas I would be like, I'm not into that, but I would be like, they make statues of me in a zombie apocalypse. Just give me a gun. It's like on, is it Sarah Connor? He's like, do you know how to use a gun? Throws it, strips it in the blindfolded, puts it back together. This is my rifle, this is my gun.
How do I find this heater so hard to use?
Honestly, I don't know, you can't figure out.
Mate, it's got like no buttons on the fucking side. It's got a power light that doesn't even come on. But it comes on, it flickers. So there, let go of it, it lets go.
Hold on to it.
You can't hold on to it, mate. I can't fucking sit here with my fingers holding it.
You can, just hold it, see if it gets warmer. Just wait there. Is it electric, I take it, and it heats up?
Yeah, it's electric, but obviously it's oil.
Yeah, we want to see if we can get this heater going.
Yeah, see, I
have to go and buy a fan heater for there's nowhere open. Fuck. There's nowhere open, is there?
I might have fixed it, but it isn't making the normal noises it usually makes when it heats up.
Broke. You fucking ruined it.
Fuck you.
You had a nice opportunity going and you broke it.
I've had this thing, it's clearly working. The light comes on.
It looks older than me.
No, it's brand new. Sorry, this is the least engaging part of the podcast.
We do apologise for this, but anyway, we're going to get some all different types of
let's have some comments through, guys. Who would you like to see on this podcast? And don't go saying Joe Rogan. You got to remember, we've got 1,290 subscribers at the moment. It ain't going to happen big time just yet. We've got some friends that we want to bring on. We've got some people who are into films, some people who are into fights. Obviously, we are still a fighting-based channel. We've got lots of people that Brad knows that want to get involved. And the nice thing is that we can hold these conversations in different times. So if we have a fighter on, Brad will be doing the interview. If we have someone who's into filmmaking, I'll be doing the interview. If we have another YouTubers, I could be doing it. If we have other coaches, we have lots of different variety of people who can do the interview. That hold different
conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, and if it's something like that, then it'll be both of us. We'll have a good.
My favourite. That's what I like.
A good old chat.
I want to get James the Colossus Thompson on.
That'd be good.
He is, because he's actually he's massively into that sort of stuff. He's actually a highly. I know he doesn't sound intelligent, but he is. I was really taken back.
I think people want to also hear about fighting as well.
Oh, yeah. Do you like fighting your own thought project?
Yeah, I like punching people.
Donald Trump paedophilia conspiracies.
Are we going to become a fucking conspiracy channel now? Are we?
Yeah, no,
Is that where we're going to go?
We fight related still, obviously.
Yeah, we're still going to talk fighting stuff. But
we're going to do everything. That's what I'm interested in doing. And, see what sort of people we got on there. We're going to do piss take stuff. Yeah. Not as much last time.
Well, I want to get some friends on. Like, I'd reach out to like GNT again, see if he wants to come up and have a chat.
Ginger Ninja Trickster, that'd be amazing. Yeah,
exactly. So we've got some of the guys from Fame that might want to get involved. We've got like MC Harvey, Dapper Laughs, Andrew Henderson, Mike Fox. I might be able to contact like Ali Law. I talk to him every now and again. Other YouTubers, other fight guys. Is there anybody you guys would like to see on our channel? Feel free to reach out to them on Instagram and get them involved. We might even try and do some location-based ones. Remote-based ones. So it means we can do a podcast with, say, like Icy Mike or with Ramsey Dewey or any other YouTubers that want to get involved with us that don't live in the UK. If there's anybody you guys want to know, bang it in the comments below. How we doing? I ain't fussed about time. I don't give a shit. I could do this shit all day long. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me just make sure the stream's still working. Oh yeah, have a bag of crisps.
My favourite crisp, I don't know if anyone noticed, is actually Monster Munch. Little paws.
I wouldn't. They're not little paws. They're actually monsters. They're monsters. They're not paws.
No, just a paw. They're what?
That's a monster. It's not a paw.
Yeah.
No. Pull one out. Just one on its own. Okay, so that looks like a paw. Turn it upside down. That is 2 legs and 2 arms and a head.
I thought it was 4 legs and an eye.
No. But 4 legs and an eye means it's still the monster. It's not the.
It's a really, really bad.
See, look at him. He's got big paws and an eye and a nose. So that is a monster upside down.
I thought it was just a little paw.
I know it makes sense for it to be a handprint, but it also makes more sense to be a monster upside down. What do we think? Everyone seen Monster Munch? Is it an upside down monster or is it a paw print? I was watching the dildo to self-defense video out the other day.
What one?
Our one, the dildo self-defense. Fucking still so.
Oh, dildo. I can see the dildo now.
Still so fun. Yeah, it's over there somewhere in the bag. Still such a funny video.
Did we ever get that up?
Yeah, we did. And it was like the last video we put up before we got taken down.
By left-wing extremism.
Yeah, tell me that.
That's a subject I get really
Bring Master Wong on the show.
I'd love to.
Really?
If he starts being weird, you go, so hey, you're surrounded all the time. You not have an actual. You were told by a few people that have met him work. I'm not going to say their names, so genuinely. So he's a fucking weirdo.
What are you talking about?
He was definitely bullied at school.
Yeah, 100%. So Kenneth Compton says, what you're talking about, Joe, is singularity field manipulation, essentially generating a black hole to warp space into a loop. Yeah. Essentially travelling across the gap and then closing it off with it. Yeah, basically. If you want to go into proper alien stuff, yeah. But it also means that they can travel inside one dimension as well by just creating the gravity field in front of them, and they will be able to travel at the speed of light in single plane, or slower than, depending on how strong they make the gravity well. Clever shit. Whether we can do it or not, I highly doubt. The supermanifold theory, everything is a frequency. Ken, if you like your science stuff, I like you, but keep them coming if you want to keep asking stuff. Ken Compton wants to come on. We can talk in-depth physics and space travel and evolutionary theory. Yeah. Brad will be like,
what's the point?
Bye.
I have no fucking clue. I absolutely fucking hated physics. Loved biology.
Yeah,
hated physics.
No, but it's the reason you hated physics because it was too smart for you. You didn't understand it.
No.
If you don't understand
it was boring and shit.
No, but it was only boring and shit because you didn't understand it.
But biology I love.
No, but it's only boring and shit because you didn't understand it. You understood biology, so you got it.
Biology is amazing stuff.
Yeah. Mate, everything.
I might just have to
when people say, "Oh, I don't get that," or "I don't understand it," or "I don't enjoy it,"
have you got any enough comments on there to keep you going when I go into the shop and guess I get pasty?
Yeah, pasty.
I'm fucking starving, man. I didn't have any sandwiches.
This is what I have to put up with. He gets hungry. I bet you're
starting to sweat. Well, look.
Oh no!
Yeah,
you might waste
pass
away.
Out.
You might waste away, Brad. You might die.
Fat cells on me. To keep a couple of.
Yeah, exactly. You got enough fat on you to fucking keep you going for another half an hour, you fucking greedy pig.
I'm straight back. Carry on. I've got another 3 hours in the end. I go, fuck. 12-hour podcast. I'm going to pass.
Have a bit of me then for a bit. Right, let's go for some comments. Let's. So how many have we got in chat? We have.
Locked outside.
Yeah, take. Where are my keys? So, slam the door. It's gold key top lock. Gets you back in. Let's have a look at some comments, shall we, guys? We have, how many people watching? 16 at the moment. I hope you guys are actually enjoying this. I know this is all a little bit all over the place at the moment, but it's still good fun. Hopefully this will get bigger and better as we go. Like I said, we've got lots of cool people we want to interview. I've got some friends who are into business. Obviously we've got lots of fighters. There's a guy, Chopper Chi Parry, I think is his actual Chi Parry, fights in Abu Dhabi Warriors, UAE Warriors, really good dude. He wants to come on and have a chat with us. Yeah, we've got lots of cool people that want to get involved. So I'm just scanning my Instagram, see if we had any messages. Nothing on there. Right, back to the video. We have comments aren't exactly the funnest part, I will admit. No. Kenneth, you're definitely dominating the comment section, bud. I'll give you that. Random person, Happy New Year's. Yes, Happy New Year 2021, off to a bang. We are back. I say back, this is brand new. I don't know what you're on about. FPTV never existed, apparently. So we are back, Fight Bible. We have a video also going live tonight at about 5 o'clock. It is an introduction to the Church of Violence. It's a fun comedy parody sketch that me and Brad designed up and kind of had a bit of fun with. Essentially, we create our own 10 commandments by rehashing the actual 10 commandments and making them fight related. It's quite funny, and there's some outfits involved and Brad beating me up. It's quite fun. It's a little bit Master Ken style. Before anybody says, oh, that's very similar to Master Ken. We know. I also contacted Master Ken and he was cool with it, so it's all good. It's a funny video. I'm a little bit worried the audio might be a bit shitty because I tried to do like this sort of church echo to make it look like we were actually in a church, but I'm worried I made it a little bit too echoey. But shit happens. What would you guys like to see on this podcast? Who would you like to see? Keep the comments coming through. Yeah, it'd be great to talk to every single one that people want to get involved with. We want to try and be as interactive as possible, same as the way Fight Perfect was. Everyone gets a say, everyone gets involved, and we create content for everybody. We've had a couple of people saying they want us to do WWE stuff, because obviously that's why they came over to Fight Perfect in the first place. Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's say if we get any wrestlers that actually want to get involved, I'm down for interviewing people. I used to be a big wrestling fan back in the day before I found proper fighting. Brad knows loads of people. He's got several big fighters that are already queuing up to want to get involved, and I hope that goes really well. I hope you guys are actually interested in that stuff. As you see, we do talk a lot of random bollocks all the time when we do talk together. Just hope you guys enjoy it, and hope we don't bore you with random shit. But like I say, I want to get guests in of all different types, not just fighting. I don't want to be just a fight podcast. I don't want to be just a conspiracy podcast. I want to be a bit of everything. Like, I've got DJs that are friends. I've got some celebrities that are friends, singers, pro actors, everything else. But yeah, it will be fun. Let's go back to the comments. You want Ginger Ninja? I think Aaron will be really good. Obviously, he's got a good fan base. It's great for us to kind of piggyback off. But I think he's also a really nice guy. He's a really good lad. Got a lot to say, a lot to talk about, a lot of experience. Yeah, it could be fun. But anyway, let's change the subject up. So, obviously 2021, it is upon us. Will it be any better than 2020? I don't know. The way things are going already, the year is finishing off where 2020 left off. Like, we're all back into heavy lockdowns here in the UK. Something like 35 million people are stay at home, don't go out, everything else, everything's shut. I'm lucky that I'm in a tier 3 area, so at least I can still go to the gym. But my business is shut. I've only made about four paychecks in 2020, I think it was. I had a bit of a government bursary and some government grants just to help keep my business running, because everything did get shut down. I was very lucky that me and my fiance, she's very good at business stuff, and she basically set up a couple of side businesses, and that kept us going through lockdown, kept us very busy. And I turned this place into a gym. So I hired some weights. I had friends coming over. I wasn't fussed about the social distancing bollocks. Fuck that shit. I'm not fussed. As long as you aren't sick, then crack on. I'm not sick. You're not sick. We're both young, whatever. Not going to get desperately ill from it. I didn't see my parents that much anyway, so it wasn't like I was going to infect them. It's Yeah, it was a very strange year. I'm sure it was for everybody else as well. Fucking, I don't know how some people managed to carry on. I totally understand how, like, suicide rates skyrocketed. Like, for some people who must have been going through depression, anxiety, loneliness, any nasty family issues, it would all compound and would just bubble to the surface and explode. It would be hell. Especially being told you can't leave your house. That would be fucking disgusting. I've had several friends who have confessed to me that they're feeling depressed and lost and lonely, and I try to help people as much as I can, but there's only so much I can do, and because I don't see it from a... I can empathise, but I can't put myself in that situation because I'm not in that situation. I've never had suicidal thoughts. I've never been depressed. It's a very difficult thing to understand, and I hope if anybody out there is going through it, that you do make a safe recovery and don't do anything stupid, because that's the worst thing you can do. Life is a long haul. It is not a sprint. Just because it's bad right now doesn't mean it'll be bad forever. I think Brad's just coming back. He's trudging his ass up the stairs. I can hear him. But yes, we have lots of stuff planned for the channel. We are going to be doing a couple of different sections. So we're going to be doing the Church of Violence and the lessons from the Church of Violence. Podcast with lots of different guests. Brad is going to bring a brand new section called Brad's Pads. Was it Brad's Pads? Or Pads with Brad? What did you want to call it?
Padman Brad.
Padman Brad. So basically just learning combos.
Oh, I had to get a bit of debate about masks. I forgot the mask tonight.
Did you? Oh, no.
God. I had to lie and say I had emphysema again because you were taking a piss at you. No, that was me. Oh, I shut my tits off.
Why are you...
I'm hungry. I'm going to pass out.
Look at the state of this kid. Let me go back to full screen Brad view. Look how sweaty he's got.
I can't see. I'm so hungry.
Dude, that's not a good, not a natural reaction. Your body is a fucking mess.
Oh, I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Whenever I get
Have you really?
all cold and sweat, yeah.
Oh, mate, that's
fucking...
fucking...
blood sugar levels and shit. I'm not a scientist, but...
Really? I've never, ever been that way. Ever.
I've always been like that.
Even when you were UFC stuff?
Yeah.
Really?
I wasn't eating.
You got two, you fat fuck.
Different flavours.
Jesus Christ.
Different flavours. What were you talking about when I was gone then?
I was just discussing what we were going to get up to.
Not aliens then.
No, actually, I didn't touch aliens. I was good. I stayed relatively on track. Stayed strong, yeah. So basically saying about how 2021 has started, and hope that everyone is still staying strong. It's
because of coronavirus.
yeah, because of COVID shit. Well, just imagine like I've had friends who've like depressed and stuff like that, and suicidal thoughts and everything else. It's fucking horrible. I can't imagine being in that position.
Especially in that lockdown. Fucking hell.
Well, I was lucky because I had this place. I can kind of do what the fuck I want, and because I obviously had a missus as well. If I was say recently divorced or used to having like very close company, and then suddenly that was ripped away from me, and I had nothing but myself. Yeah, that'd be horrible. That'd be very horrible.
That wouldn't be good, would it?
No, absolutely not.
Living in a flat on your own.
Ugh.
Like Sam Smith had it hard.
Oh, no, poor thing.
He had it really hard in his absolute gigantic
mansion of a house, and he was fucking
all
devastated.
The cool things to do. What a fucking pussy. Netflix.
Yeah.
I literally completed it though.
Yeah, I know. I completed Netflix as well.
There's nothing on there.
Well,
I've already seen it.
have you seen that you can reset your Netflix like suggested options, because it does repeat a hell of a lot. If you can reset it, apparently it completely changes the whole feed.
There's a lot more films on there than what you think.
Yeah, a hell of a lot more. But the problem is you have to search for it by name, which means that you have to know its name before you find it. And like half of the shit on Netflix I find is stuff... Yeah, but even the documentaries, it gives me the stuff I'm into, which I've already watched. If it gave me something I wasn't necessarily into, but was still good, I'd find it. I went on Amazon Prime. If you type in Cannabis documentaries in Amazon Prime, do you know how many there are on Amazon that are all pro-drug?
How many?
5,000. Do you know how many got up in my recommended? None. Wow. Absolutely fucking none.
I've not seen... Yeah, I like documentary. I don't watch them on weed and stuff.
Mate, you should do. Some of the ones on there are fucking incredible. Like, there's one on Netflix called Weed the People.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Unbelievable.
What's it about?
It's
I know.
Yeah, so it's about families who are treating their kids who've got cancer with cannabis oil.
My friend died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Jess, James Smith's sister, took it and they couldn't find any cancer.
Is it really? What does she have?
I don't like talking about it in case she doesn't need to say anything.
Fuck them.
No,
It's information people know, and it's gonna be legal. So as part of the COVID bill at the very beginning of the year, when we first started desperately looking for cures for COVID, the British government declassified a lot of psychedelics and hallucinogenics and drugs to try and find this cure desperately. And in doing so, it allowed labs to test things like cannabis, psychedelics like LSD, acid, magic mushrooms, DMT. Yeah, pretty much every type of drug which changes the human chemistry in your brain. They were allowed to test. And in doing so, which is why now cannabis is edging its way forward closer and closer towards legalization.
You can grow it now, can't you, in the UK? What's that politician that's got a farm?
But so the fact that it's edging closer, because it's edging closer towards legalization, then it's going to become part of the public domain. It's going to be used. It's going to be learned. It's going to be taught in schools. It's going to be college courses like it is in the US. And like I said, if Jess Smith did take it and heal herself, then great. Absolutely great.
Change your diet and everything to go with it.
Oh, of course you do, because she was overweight. she was a big girl.
No, she's not. She lost loads of weight.
Yeah, exactly.
No, before. She's quite skinny, yeah. She's lost loads of weight, mate.
Oh, I haven't seen her in like 10 years.
Pretty little girl. She's lovely.
Mm.
And whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, Weed the People. So documentary which shows parents treating their children with cannabis.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Good, because I'd like that. If someone goes, give me the option. If I knew I was going to die, I would always choose weed over
mate,
anything else.
Everything else. So they've showed a kid who was so overweight because of the medication he was on.
Maybe swell up.
Yeah, he was on so many different types of chemo, and within 6 months of starting him on cannabis, he was not only completely cured of cancer, but he was 100% healthy in terms of his body, his style. If you saw, like, it showed a picture of him afterwards, and we're like, he wasn't in the documentary. It's like, oh my god, that's the fat kid. It's literally like, that's a different person. They had a 6-month-old girl who had leukemia, and it was devastating. And they were trying to find out the dose that she needed, and obviously they needed enough time to pass for her to go through checks and stuff. So they put her on a dose of weed for like 2 months, and then they went for the scan, which coincided with that 2 months, and the cancer was still progressing. And they were all disheartened, going, it doesn't fucking work, the weed doesn't work. And it's like, no, it does, you just got to up the dosage. And then so they upped the dosage, and then 2 months later, the cancer was retreating. It was shrinking.
Oh, no.
It was shrinking. And they were like, this is something which we never thought would have happened. The doctors were like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. They go back 2 months later, having found the correct dosage, the cancer had halved. They go back 2 months later, the cancer's gone. So in 6 months, she's gone from dying to fully healed and cured. And they said that the chemo alone would have meant her quality of life would have been atrocious.
Rots the brain in it as well.
Well, it rots everything. So like,
yes,
she'd have had the fucking bad gut. She'd been throwing up. She'd have been like incapacitated in bed, plus the swelling, plus everything else. And she was just a happy little girl. No one, they wouldn't have even known she was anything. If anything, she was actually easier to be a baby because she was a little bit high on the THC. So she didn't get grizzly.
Baby and high.
So she didn't get exactly. You just be happy all the fucking
Oh
time.
mate, I'm happy whenever I get high. I'm happy as a pig and shit.
But if you think about the chemical signatures of being happy, when you're happy, you not situationally happy like going to a comedy store, but like in your brain, you are nothing but seeing golden fucking sunshine and rainbows. Your body will produce the chemicals that keeps itself alive way easier.
So if you're stress-free,
if you're sad and stressed,
you get ill.
You get sick. That's because your body is not producing the correct chemicals to make yourself feel good. And by feeling good, that is health.
There's always
if you're happy, you will be healthy.
It's always the richest, stress-free people in society are always the one that die last. I mean, so have you read Jordan Peterson's book?
Well, this is why fucking people who smoke a lot of weed but have nothing live for fucking ever. Like hippies.
The conspiracy theory ones, they do my head in.
Yeah. No, but there's a reason why people who smoke lots eventually end up looking like hippies, because they lose the ego. You smoke so much, your ego dissipates. You don't give a shit about driving a nice car. You don't want a fucking hefty mortgage, because guess what? There's more to life than working. So you downsize, and before you know it, You're a hobo living in the forest in a tent, but you're happy as fuck because you're just smoking weed all day long.
Growing your own plants and shit.
Yeah, growing your own plants, but living simply and enjoying life. But that's not fucking good because the government don't want you doing that because then you're not paying tax.
Yeah, they're not going to be. They're not lining their pockets, are they?
No. Well, if you look at the hippie movement in the 60s, the government was so against it. They called it a religious cult, and it wasn't a religious cult. They were working on their consciousness by meditating and smoking weed and enjoying each other's company. And the governments locked them down and destroyed their communities because they said that they were a terrorist organisation.
The famous one is when they put the flower petal in the
the
flower power. Yeah, that's the funniest fucking.
Yeah, but it shows that the government don't want that element of control, or they need that control. They do not want free thinking, and that's why drugs were made illegal. The government's
elected, though, isn't it?
That's why the drugs were made illegal. If you look at like the powers in the 1950s that banned drugs, like Nixon and Ray, all that bullshit in the US, they basically said they are the biggest terrorist problem. Like marijuana is the biggest terrorist problem potential. It's like, yeah, because it's opening people's eyes that your rules are bullshit, and people that don't abide by your rules are terrorists. But they're not. They're just people who live outside the constructs of your ideal, and your ideal
wake up, work.
Yeah, wake up, work, pay your fucking taxes,
and then you die.
Yeah, that's what they want.
You don't even get to keep that shit when you die anyway.
They need those cogs in the machine to keep the fucker running.
I mean, it would be nice to have the Ferrari, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully this channel kicks off so much. With 23 people watching at the moment, mate. 23 mugs on Christmas. 23 mugs on fucking...
We thought we'd do something nice for New Year's Day.
I
New Year's Day doing this, but...
I got like a fucking nip on that fucking...
It is a bit chilly,
oh, fucking freezing, you cunt.
And this cunt still has not come on.
I was getting those horrible sweats a minute ago where I was going to pass out. I'm fucking freezing now. One of them left, look, he got offended because I said he's a mug. What questions you got them, you old fruit?
Shit, not happening. What do you think about the carnivore diet from David Dobrowolski?
That's that one that was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
No, that's the exact opposite. That was the vegan. So carnivore being just eat meat.
That's what I was on
about.
I
can't remember the fucking dude's name. Yeah, very good. I love doing the carnivore diet personally. I lose weight on it. I shred up. I get stronger. But then that's the same for every fad diet. And this is something which the guy argued. He said when people go vegan, they lose loads of weight and they get healthier. Yeah, absolutely. If all you ever do is eat normal food, so pasta, rice, the odd McDonald's, the old kebab, a little bit of shit here, a little bit of snacky crap here, and then you cancel all of that shit and eat just clean vegetables, guess what? You will feel a lot better. But guess what? There is a middle ground, just called healthy. Don't eat shit. Be healthy. Simple as that. If you eat grass-fed steak, chicken, and veg, absolutely perfect diet, and you will get bigger and stronger by having that red meat or white meat or whatever in your diet. If you strip it all out and go just vegan, you lose amino acids, you lose essential protein bonds, your fucking body just falls apart, because guess what, we need meat in our diet. There are some people, but then you have to also then substitute with supplements and shit like that as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've done vegan for 6 months.
Yeah, and you probably lost
I
a lot of weight.
evaporated.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat enough calories. That was the best thing about being vegan, right? And I like plant-based diet then. I was never vegan. Plant-based diet because I still wore leather and I had leather. I won't get rid of my Japanese winnings, baby, because if I got a bit of cow there. Sorry, a cow had to die for my gloves. I'm sorry. Probably multiple cows. Different types of leather, do you know what I mean? Because they're expensive. They're 300 quid gloves. And I've just gone, it's like I'm stoned, just gone, forgot on about it, I got carried away with the fuck, vegan. There you are. There you are. So it's like, I was like, yeah, the vegan. I got to eat fucking loads. Like, to start off with, I was struggling for ideas. Like, my coach, Stu, gave me a cookbook for vegans. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, well, mix up and you start evolving.
How do you cook a vegan?
Well, yeah, it's like a vegan cookbook, sorry.
Camera's fucking froze again.
This one?
Yeah, I need to buy a new camera.
Oh, and then
we'll be buying a new one.
It was quite interesting because I could eat loads, and then like I used to calorie count. I'm like, how the fuck is this whole plate of food 400 calories?
Yeah.
I can eat another 50% on top of this, but I used to feel quite full up. Now when I went on that fucking caveman diet, which is basically just meat, it's not completely the carnivore one, but you know, I needed to take fucking X-Lax so I could shit because they were so fucking...
I never had
they were like that, man. They were,
I never had any problems.
You shouldn't have to get piles and fucking nearly pass out from having a dump eating fucking red meat.
That's down to your body, how it reacted to it.
Yeah, not very
that
well.
Never happened to me. So I was on eggs.
Take tramadol to have a shit.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
I mean, fuck's sake.
The pain relief just to fucking stop your bum from exploding.
Yeah, fuck me, mate. Split your ass, I want to have blood come out and shit. What the
so
fuck?
I was on red meat, so I was doing steak and eggs twice a day, and I did that for 3 months. Nothing but steak and eggs. I dropped 2 stone. I went from 16.5 stone to 14.5 stone, which is 225 to 195.
That's about right.
About that. And
Pounds.
I had
LBS.
great energy. I had loads of strength, loads of power. My bench went from 110 to 140. It was fucking great. Everything was great.
It's normally hard to gain. Well, you wouldn't gain any muscle mass. You would just gain strength. You can't lose weight and gain muscle at the same time. It's impossible.
But that's what they say. But
No,
if you think about the idea of a caveman, if you tap into that caveman, the genetics in your brain, where you think like when we go into space and your body goes, oh great, we don't need this calcium thick heavy skeleton anymore. If all you do is eat meat, it goes, shit, we're a hunter. We need to be bigger and stronger. So it starts to increase more muscle mass. It starts to produce more chemicals to build more muscle because it thinks you're a prehistoric man. It goes, we need muscle to hunt and kill whatever the fuck we're eating, and that's all we're eating. And it starts to produce the hormones and the testosterone and the chemicals in your body to develop muscle. And then it goes, shit, we might need to run real fast as well. And he's not intaking much fat, so much like high level fats or bread or whatever, or carbs. So then your body stops creating the fat stores as well. It starts to then use those fat stores.
Stay leaner and leaner.
Because we are the modern human and we wear clothes, we then don't need high levels of fat. If we were running around naked in the forest, it would go, shit, we need to put some fat on because we're cold. Let's grow some hair. And before you know it, you're a bear.
Yeah.
You're a gorilla. You're a fucking. You're an animal which.
Silverback.
Yeah. You're an animal which has fat reserves on purpose for the purpose of keeping you warm.
It's amazing.
We do not have that because we've had clothes for the last 4,000 years.
Maybe longer than that. Make it
10,000 years then.
More than that.
Well, just using.
They found I think was it they found some fossils.
No, I mean like proper clothes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Proper clothes to the point where it's like.
Not like I was thinking like you skin the fucking.
Yeah.
Goat.
Well, when it was like Genghis Khan and shit like that, it was like 6th century, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, no.
I want to go back further. Like,
was it? I don't think it was,
like 6,000 BC.
Oh, that's way.
So like Egyptians. But you got to remember again, we were colonized in Africa, a warm place. So
they still
back
wore
then,
clothes because they got.
Yeah, they still wore
the
clothes. They still wore clothes, but were people in like really cold areas 10,000 years ago?
Didn't they reckon it was 16,000 years old? The Graham Hancock for the.
Was it?
16,000, yeah.
Yeah,
or 25.
I'm just
32.
I'm gonna
16 because the second one was I think it was 16 because there was
I'm a quote Joe Rogan on this. I'm just a dumb idiot, just trying to make sense of it in my own brain.
Well, it's fucking hard. That's why you got.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the idea again. If we don't need residual fat for warmth because we have clothing, our body will not use it for that. This is why, like Milo, for instance, my pig, his fat is rock hard. If you have an animal which relies on its fat, it's not soft, wobbly, blubbery fat. It's part of the animal. Like a hippo, if you touched a hippo, it'd be fucking solid.
So a serious
it's
question.
Residual fat. It's not environment. It's not fat which it's put on because it's just a gluttonous fat fuck. You poke a pudgy person, they're like fucking glue. It's just fucking dumpy nothingness. It's not real fat. Real fat which is insulating and for a reason. Like real fat doesn't have like blood cells and stuff, does it? Like if you cut a steak open, there's not veins running through the fat. The fat is there because it's there to keep them warm, which means it's exactly the exact opposite reason of why you have blood in fat. Because the blood cells run under the fat. Because if the blood cells were in the fat, then the blood cells are exposed to the cold. Whereas our blood cells are in our skin, and the fat then goes underneath that skin. So when a fat person can still die of hypothermia very quickly, whereas a fat pig or a fat cow or a fat elephant or a fat fucking whatever won't die of cold. Maybe an elephant will because it's used to being in Africa. But you get what I mean.
Like if you were in a zombie apocalypse then, Joe, and the only food left was Milo.
That pig's eaten. That pig's gone.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad we got that out of the way because I was like, I would kill Milo in my bare hands.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we were watching this thing called, sorry, off topic, yeah, but I'm glad we are. So we were going to get bored to death of that shit. So I'm joking. We went on to, we watched it last night called Meat Eater. Okay. Seen that?
No.
Fucking, oh mate, they basically go out and they just fucking savage animals. And they were hunting boars, right? I actually felt sorry for the poor little piggy Pumbaa. So they were in New Zealand and they set out these, well, apparently they were whippets, and they're the fucking biggest whippets I've ever seen in my life.
Whippets can get that genetic fucking muscular disease, can't they?
Well, these didn't have that, but you are right.
No,
that's that picture you see with that fucking Terminator dog.
Looking fucking.
And then they pin the pig down and they just stab it in the heart 2 or 3 times and let it bleed out. I was like, what a dignified death! Chased by 2 little pesky dogs and then killed by 2 men with a fucking knife. What's wrong with a gun? Do you know what I mean? Just shoot.
What a gun whilst it doesn't know what's happening from a distance.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And then like.
No, but if you want to,
that's
the ancient way of killing stuff.
It's 2021, Joe says.
Yeah, but people want to.
Said that.
People want to. People want that sense of nature, don't they? They don't want to use a gun.
You mean they like the thrill?
Not the thrill. I think they see it as more like this is how prehistoric man would have hunted with dogs.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Both ways are not a nice way to die, but one's lights out. I hope. Yeah. And then one's a
fear. One that's being chased by
dogs.
Yeah. Scared shitless. And then being killed. Yeah. Not a very nice way to go. But
that's what I mean.
That is life.
We have got guns. I like bow hunting and that. I got a bow just in case a zombie apocalypse happens. I got some great big broadheads and that. Nice. Oh mate, bow hunting is just shooting a bow's hard.
Oh, I can imagine.
70 pound draw.
The last time I pulled a bow was what the fuck?
What bow was it?
Some piece of shit. I think.
Was it a compound bow?
No, I thought it was a compound bow. It was just some shitty longbow from like a kid's fucking adventure class.
Oh, like Bratton at War, stuff like that. You go there.
No, not even fucking. It was.
Mate.
It was like going to like.
What year 7 residential trip?
Literally like that bullshit. Yeah. Yeah. When you only get like
arrogance at
you get 3 fires between the whole class.
You got to share a pool.
You got to share a fucking
and then it's like we're all like over the top safety. That's why I liked army cadets as a kid, man. You got to shoot guns. That's like fucking hell. If people knew how hard it was in the UK to shoot guns, they would appreciate how cool army cadets was. Do you know what I mean?
Right, we've got lots of questions coming in.
Fire away, sunshine.
My best mate's granddad used CBD to help ease the pain. He was suffering from prostate cancer. He was able to die peacefully due to the... Yeah, exactly. If he'd have taken THC, it might have actually helped kill the cancer.
Because CBD is not the bit that
CBD controls pain.
That's the anti-inflammatory.
That's the anti-inflammatory, which does help cancer. But the THC essentially gets the cells themselves high. And when they're high, when the cells are high, they get confused. So if your body is having an autoimmune response, which is what a cancer is your own body. It's not an outside infection. Your own body is breaking down itself. So if you can get that cancer cell high to the point where it goes, we're going to stop killing ourselves and we're going to sit back and we're just going to chill for a minute, it allows your own body to actually kill them off whilst they're being high and lazy, because your own body's immune system is not compromised by THC. The autoimmune system is. It's a very, very, very clever little system. I think it's
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was what it was.
Yes, that is the.
I'm just amazed.
That's the dumb way of putting it.
Yeah, if you speak to a biologist, you'd be like.
No, but that is the basic level of it. You have your sympathetic nervous system and your immune system, and they work differently. Yeah, so the autoimmune response is what COVID is. COVID is a nasty autoimmune response to the influenza virus. It's just a different strain. It is a virus like a computer program. You put a virus in your computer and it starts firing up pop-ups. It's still your computer. It's sending the knowledge and the information in a different fucking way, and it's fucking with itself. So COVID essentially is the autoimmune response. As the lungs start to get infected, it starts to go, shit, our lungs are damaging. Let's harden up the fucking alveoli. Let's harden up the bits in our lungs to stop them from getting damaged. But what it's doing is it's actually damaging the lung. It's the autoimmune response. They think that cannabis is a potential massive cure for COVID because you are physically taking something into your lungs. If you smoke it, you take it into the lungs, it makes the COVID virus in your lungs high, and it allows your body to kill the COVID virus.
But the coronavirus can't escape weed.
Yeah, the coronavirus can't escape weed. And this is something which a lot of people have been testing in the US because obviously it's legal, but testing cannabis is still illegal. As in, it's a class 1 scheduled drug, which means that at some point in the history, the US government went, that has fuck all pharmaceutical gains, so we're going to put it on the controlled substance list. So they're not allowed to work on it, because if they work on it and find out that it is the fucking miracle cure which you've been after, again, it changes all of human history.
Yeah, it becomes all the ones they punish for anything to do with it.
Exactly. It becomes the object of a war based purely around control. If they find out that cannabis is not only helpful but is literally the cure for cancer, and it's been repressed by governments worldwide purely on the basis of Big Pharma not wanting it to happen.
Bear in mind, the people in the government have also died
free mind mentality.
Cancer.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
This is that higher level shit again. Here's
cancer?
The president. Here's the fucking governments above that. It's that level. The people that are that high don't want the people down here having a free thinking mind. Because if they free think, they won't play those little cogs which keeps the world running. But we need to change the paradigm. We need to make weed an infrastructure which works and work for it. I'm sure there's probably loads of people
might go
like,
buy a 20 bag on the way home. Might go buy a 20 bag on the way home.
Yeah, so that's
but all I'd end up doing is
dumb layman's policy. I'm sure I'm going to have someone
in dumb I am in comparison to your thoughts there. I'm going to go off, get one and watch Rick and Morty. Yeah. And there'll be nothing to do with free thinking apart from...
Well, I think... So someone just commented, I smoke weed but I don't recommend it. I 100% recommend it for a purpose. If you're smoking it for the sake of smoking it, that's not good. I smoke weed and I take edibles and stuff because I suffer with restless limb syndrome, which is a neurological problem I have in my left leg.
Twitchy legs.
Well, no, it's just my leg doesn't feel like my right leg. It sounds really fucking weird, but if you had a finger which constantly fucking tingled and didn't feel like your middle
restless
finger...
leg syndrome,
yeah, it's literally, that's what it is. It just feels different. It doesn't twitch. I twitch it to try and make it feel normal.
Go back to normal.
Yeah, try and make it go back to normal.
So when you get high, what does that feel like then?
It turns it off.
So it switches off,
it turns it off because it's a neurological problem.
Do you get munchies?
Yeah.
Mate, I've never.
But that's why I only smoke around about 11 o'clock at night, about an hour before.
Mate, I'd wake my ass up, walk downstairs.
Yeah, I know, but that's because you're a fat, greedy bastard that just had 2 coughed of fucking pasties, you fat.
They're pasties, they're sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
And they're healthy.
And I haven't eaten at all yet, and it's fucking it's 3:30, and I still haven't had a fucking bite to eat because I do an intermittent fasting. I do a 16-hour fast.
Well, you do your fucking pussy old fucking fasting, and I'll eat what I want.
I'm the one with abs, and you're not.
Well, mate, I can get abs, and I can beat you in a fight.
You can get abs?
So that's that conversation.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
If you were a normal man and not a former UFC fighter, you wouldn't be able to beat the fuck out of me, and I'd be stronger than you. So
I'm not
against 90% of the population, yeah.
This is where Joe's been smoking too much weed because I'm not.
How much? Yeah, but when you were fucking shredded, I
was never lean anyway.
Would you now? Yeah, you were. Fuck me. When you were on Ultimate Fighter, you were. When you were in 77k, you were.
Yeah, I was
lean.
I wasn't shredded. I was lean-ish.
Dude, I got photos of you shredded.
But that was when I was.
So you were fucking shredded.
That
was the week before. No, that was the week before. Yeah, because you went from welterweight to fucking middleweight. You fat lazy bastard. Yeah, you want to cut weight.
Yeah, because it sucks dick.
Yeah,
I still ended up cutting loads of weight in the middle.
But you were still. You were great at welterweight. I thought you were fucking.
It was too tiring, mate.
Oh yeah, but that's part of being...
You drained me and I ended up not
Dude, that's part of being
fights.
a professional fighter.
Yeah.
It's how fucking shredded you were there. I'm going to put that fucking next to the camera. I took that photo of Brad 10 years ago.
Fucking horrible photo that was.
Mate, you look fucking sick in it.
No, because the reason I don't like looking at that photo is I know it's next to you in the camera.
Oh yeah.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah, so I took that photo of Brad nearly 10 years ago before he went into the...
So I was in the...
You were in between.
So
you come home... and you were like, don't tell anyone, but I'm in the final in like 2 weeks' time because we still had like 5 weeks of the fucking filming to go.
Yeah, we had to wait for it because I was on episode.
No, you fought on episode
7 and 9. 7 and 9.
Was it 7 and 9? Yeah.
7 and 9. Yeah, I didn't like that in my fight. It was boring as fuck.
Yeah, I bet it was horrible. I bet it was horrible. I bet the training was so intense.
It's intense the whole way. Yeah. It was like you were in the last 2 weeks of camp, the whole way.
Yeah, that's the way it should have been.
Hell week.
But that's also
also how people get injured.
No,
one's ever their best.
Is that not also how pro high level fighters train all the time?
It's just impossible.
If you're in camp,
people were dropping like flies.
Yeah, but if you're in camp, isn't that how it's
done? Yeah, but it's done in periods.
Yeah, but you don't weight cut during camp. Like
early the last stages. 2, yeah, but I was weight cutting the whole way through.
You had to weight cut the whole way 3 times the whole way through. That's why it was most horrible. Exactly. Yeah, but if you were but you were also a massive welterweight. You were fucking huge.
Yeah, I didn't need to be 80, 90 kilos.
No, exactly.
Kilos.
Exactly. So if you were a slightly slighter man, then it would have been easier on you.
Yeah, we used to
exactly. So you were misfit from the off, realistically. You were not a bad selection because it would have been so much harder on you. But if you were a stone lighter, you'd have made it fucking easy. And the whole competition would have been a piece of piss.
You'd have been able to, with that stone of weight, made a big difference that I'd lost.
No, but you lost it anyway. But if you'd have been a stone lighter, you put it straight back on. But if you'd have physically been a stone lighter and you were always weighing, say, 78 kilos, and you only had a kilo of fat to lose, because you were naturally... Imagine if you were Scotty Clist.
He walks back. He fights at 70 there, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he walks around at fucking lightweight, and that guy is shredded.
He walks around like a heavyweight.
That's his fucking... Huge. No, he doesn't.
He's about 84 kilos now.
That's still not even middleweight, mate.
Yeah, but he fights at 70.
Yeah, I know, but
that's bigger than I cut.
Yeah, but when he was fighting, he used to walk around at like 80.
Yeah, about 80 he used to walk around 10 kilos. That's what I used to do.
Yeah, so he used to cut 10. No, but if he wanted to fight at welterweight, he'd only lose 3k. He only wants to fight at lightweight because he can literally dominate the fuck out.
Yeah, that's the whole point of me doing it as well. That was the whole point of me doing it.
But like, look at Israel Adesanya, fucking middleweight champ, and he doesn't even bother cutting weight.
He does.
Hardly anything.
Walked around about 90, about 6k. So when I was fought at middleweight, I only walked around about 93. I used to get down to 90 for pretty much the last 4 weeks of my camp.
Wasn't that that was hard? That was probably a really hard weight cut though, right?
No, 6 keys, nothing.
Was it really?
Yeah, 10 keys, not nice. That was what I used to do for welterweight. I used to walk around at 87 and fight at 77. That was hell. Yeah. But we used to do, like I said, in training camps, done in like 3 stages. So you got your just starting the camp, you take things like you do a lot of technical work, nothing specific. You train, you get fit, you start to get your body. You're already fit anyway. You're never not fit.
Oh yeah, fuck, you're a professional.
It's a myth. People say, "Oh yeah, you're not fit." No, you're always fit. You're just not peaking.
The people who are saying you're not fit have no idea. That's like saying that's like shouting at the professional footballer for not sprinting in the 90th fucking minute for a ball that's breaking loose. It's like, dude, they've ran 90 fucking minutes. They're knackered.
And they do a lot of mileage.
You are slagging them off.
Fartlek running as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like short, fast, slow. I know, I hate it. It's such a stupid fucking word.
I know, but it makes sense.
You shouldn't have fart in a fucking word,
No, but if it was ass lick running, you'd be like, I get why that's called ass lick, because it's fucking horrible. I would rather lick ass.
I think it's the guy's name, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I would rather lick ass than fucking do those short sprints for 90 fucking minutes.
Yeah, but they get paid extremely well for it. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to sit and moan about,
no, they still fucking do.
But yeah, of course we do. They're always going to moan, but everyone moans. But I was fit the whole time. Like for the whole time I was fighting, I was as fit as any. Well, I think I used to do my 3 miles in about 18.5 minutes or something like that. I used to run it on an incline of 2. I was pretty fit, and that was like towards my fight time. But I wasn't a runner. I was never good at running, and I'm 6'2" and I'm heavy.
Well, you were good at running.
I was too heavy and too heavy.
No, but you were really, in your head. Deadly. You weren't good enough. But you were still
competitive, mate. You've got to be. You've always got to strive for better.
Yeah, absolutely. But mate, the people who you were competing against were dying in the same way you were dying, except you were beating them. So that means you were better than them. You outpaced everyone in the Ultimate Fighter. You ran.
Oh, you're on about that.
You ran longer on the treadmill. You won the fucking uphill sprint challenges. Well, that's what it showed on the TV anyway.
I can't remember if I did win that.
No, you were a cardio beast. They literally said.
I did have a cardio. Yeah, my cardio was great, but my running technique wasn't. No, that's what I meant by that. No,
but running technique is such a hard thing to change.
Yeah, that's what we're going to get Connell on here to talk about that. He's a sprint coach.
Who's that?
Connell Queston. He's a sprint coach.
How you run is
makes a huge difference.
Huge difference.
Huge difference.
I remember when I was at school, and how I used to run was gangly. It was all over the fucking place, and I used to hate the fact that people were faster than me, and I didn't get it. And then I'd see someone like Raf Witcher, fast as fuck. Perfectly fucking streamlined. His knees were high, his hands were high, his shoulders were up. Everything was perfect. He used to actually take off out the fucking blocks and physically be at like a 45-degree angle until he straightened up. I would just go like that the whole fucking time because my running technique was shit. Yeah. My running technique was crap.
Well, that's the way it was. That's why I used to fight. But I used to do a lot of Tabata training. I think Tabata training helped loads.
Yeah, and your version of Tabata training and HIIT training would have been fucking disgusting.
It was vile, mate. It was never nice. I was always fit. Yeah. I won a lot of my fights just by being fitter than my opponents.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and I always put a lot of pressure on that, made it harder for me and them because I always forced the pace of the fight. I didn't like it being slow. I liked it to be a fast-paced fight, so we didn't all, even if you're not throwing punches, just moving towards them speeds the pace up. If you walk around, you give them rest. That's not. You're letting them rest too much. I didn't like that. I like to break people down and get in and just sort of slowly grind on them until they make mistakes.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that was one of the best things I've ever done.
This thing is, it's not actually even working.
No, it's a piece of shit. Ooh, what was that? Nothing. And then the last 4 weeks of training, the last stage, so when we started doing a lot of plyometrics, then there was no real weights now, it's just all plymos. The sparring became intense, the runs were intense, the dieting was off the fucking chart anal, weighed everything. This is when everything was like proper calorie counted. You had to check your weight every day and you'd watch it sort of go up and slowly come down, slowly come down, slowly come down. You had to make sure that you were peaking as well. You didn't do too much because you were at a calorie deficit, avoid you end up with overtraining anxiety.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then your fight's over, then you can't fight. And then you've got to make sure your immune system can be brought down by that and you can get staph easier.
Oh, well, you did, didn't you?
And I got staph for fucking Hermanson. Hermanson.
Was it Hermanson?
Of all the fucking people to fight at
I thought you got staph before you went to Mexico.
That was Hermanson.
Was that?
Yeah. Mexico City Halls. Don't you know I'm a local?
Weird how you both went out to fucking Mexico for that. Yeah. Where was he based?
I asked the UFC to cancel it because I had staph and I had a massive cut in my eye. Maybe you can see it. There, that massive scar there. Put this. No, fuck it. Yeah. I got a Gert scar down there, boys. And I had that, and then I had an infection. It was like, fuck's sake, so I couldn't even train. I'd lost loads of weight from the infection, and I asked the UFC to cancel it, but they said no. Fight it or fuck off. Yeah,
really? They said fight or fuck off?
They didn't say fuck off, but
it was
a fight where you wouldn't be fighting for 2 years, do you know what I mean? And I thought that was really harsh.
Yeah.
So I went in there fighting a fucking future animal, but half myself. I believe I would have done a lot better. I didn't think I would.
Yeah, you got flattened out. And
I didn't have the strength to get
up. How long did
that
last?
4 minutes. I had him in a triangle, that's the annoying bit. I
should
have gone for that fucking triangle.
No, you should have done, but you should have struck.
Yeah, I should have elbowed him.
Mate.
Because I was trying to pull the leg down.
I remember screaming at the fucking TV.
What I wanted to do was keep...
I was watching that fucker live.
Because I'm being told by the guy next to me squeeze. So I'm pulling it down. God, he's some cunt.
Have you counted how long he was in that triangle for?
About a minute and a half or something.
Where it was 18 seconds where he was there. You could have been going bang.
I wanted to elbow. I looked back at him and I was like, I should have...
If you'd have fucking cut him up, if you'd have hit him with 4 or 5 good elbows there, his knees would have dropped, he would have lost his base, and you could have finished the triangle.
Because when you're in
but you would have been able to finish the triangle, because he would have instinctively...
When you're fighting, none of this goes through your head.
But if you'd have gone for the elbows across the face, he would have had to have brought that arm up, which would have allowed you... which would have rip it across, exactly.
Yeah, mate, I know. I was there.
Oh, man. You were there.
I was there, mate, yeah. I've been there, Joe.
I was screaming at the fucking TV. I think I watched that one in the pub.
Everyone, Lisbon watched it.
Yeah, we watched it the pilot.
I was so ill for that fight.
Mate, it was
fucking absolutely fucked.
Mate, literally people were screaming at the TV in the middle of a packed pub.
Mate, I heard the commentators screaming.
Oh
my God, he's got a triangle. So, oh my God, that
why can't he finish
about 5 years. Boy, he's done that.
Loads of comments coming in.
Go on then, fire away, sunshine.
Comments, there's lots of comments. There's not so many questions.
Just like, hey guys.
Has anyone got any questions, guys? Feel free to fire them in. I'm going to do a little Q&A round.
Why do dogs have wet noses? Why do cats always shit?
Why were you below him at the triangle? Hey?
Read it out.
Oh, why were you below him at that angle? I don't know. Sorry, dude. I don't get that one. Spleef Daddy. Getting on. Spleef. Spleef Daddy. I've always thought, someone's screen name is so, environmentally important. If that name was on Pornhub, you go, gay.
Yeah.
But when it's on YouTube, you just kind of think, okay, maybe there's something else. I don't know.
Some of the names I've seen are incredible on YouTube.
It goes from being super, super creepy if it was on Pornhub to being like, oh, that's kind of funny.
That's kind of funny.
If it was like Shagmaster69 on YouTube, you're like, he's got a sense of humour, or he's a bit of a fucking geek or whatever. If that's on Pornhub, you're like, really?
Bit of a pervert.
Yeah. The pig is all good. He is fully very much in hibernation mode. He is hairy. He is fat. He is
ready for cooking.
Yeah, he's He's a chunky boy. Like he's allowed in the house whenever he wants, but he comes out of his house, which is in the garden, has some food, and then goes straight back to fucking bed. He's like, "Fuck this cold. I am staying in bed."
Family Guy or South Park?
Ooh,
no, it's
South Park all day long. South Park all day long.
I was hoping you were going to say Family Guy, so I was like, what a fucking dickhead.
No,
no, man, when Family Guy came out, I forgot about South Park. Just forgot all about it.
Yeah, same.
And I thought, oh no, this is the new way. And then slowly but surely, on my hands and knees, like a fucking desperate boyfriend trying to get his ex back, crawling back. South Park.
You can run faster if you don't smoke weed. Tell that to Usain Bolt. That guy smokes a lot of weed.
I bet he didn't during the Olympics.
No, maybe not at the time.
He failed.
Brad, I'm working with an old friend of yours in Ireland, Neil Kennedy, madman.
Oh, how'd you know fucking... Oh,
MJ
fucking
Sweeney.
hell.
MJ Sweeney.
Neil Kennedy, oh, he's a fucking hero. Oh, mate, he's got a funny hand where he's punched someone, fucked his hand up. Oh, mate, fucking hell. I take it you're not with Neil now.
Yeah, what are you doing out in Ireland with him? How's that going?
He moved back, didn't he? Poor Neil, his wife died, bless him. Had a heart attack one morning. He ended up moving back to Ireland. I used to coach him.
Really?
Yeah, he's a hard little bastard, he is. Funny as fuck. Oh, I can't really... talking about... I can't really sit on here. I used to get... Oh, no one knows who he is. I used to get these little weed capsule tablets. That was him. That was him. You know the little weed capsule things I used to get? It was off him, yeah. Take a few of them, mate. Fucking hell. The highest... He used to give them to me. Instead of giving me money to train,
he used to give me weed.
Give me them. So I used to train him.
Welcome to the world of... There's the unseen world of a fucking fighter.
Teach him all the hand fighting stuff and all that. And then I'd be doing... And I'd have took 4 of these tablets and I'd be coming up halfway through and I'm smiling. Oh, what are we doing again? No, I forgot. Forget. Oh, mate, Neil Kennedy's a fucking hero. I used to work with him and coach him. Fucking hilarious guy. Hard bastard. Funny as fuck though, I'll tell you that right now. I fucking loads of respect for Big Neil. Big Neil. He's not actually any bigger than me at all. He's considerably smaller than me. So I feel sorry because when we used to do training together, I was so fucking overpowered. When I train, one of the things I used to like to do was make everyone, whenever we were training, I just wanted to make them carry my weight. I always want to be fit. Just whatever they're doing, I'm there, grabbing you, boom, I'll hit you, weighted, I'll crush you down. I want to see your morale go, and just as it went, bastard. Not in street fights though, just kill.
Stamp on the foot.
You ain't got time for any of that shit. And people will say, oh yeah, stamp on the foot, let go. No, man, you'll be stamping on his face, he won't let go. Like the best way to show you how strong people are when they're scared for their life, mate. A good analogy, if you've just got if your ship's just sunk and you're holding on to a bit of wood to stay alive, you are not letting go of that bit of wood.
No.
You are holding on to that bit of wood.
If you see something, unless you see something safer.
Yeah, you ain't let go. So unfortunately, when someone's holding on for you and you think they're going to hit you, you've got to do pretty good to get them to let go. And a bollock shot might not even do it. I think if I had on someone's neck, if I had them in a rear naked choke and I knew they're going to sleep soon,
no, but if
they hit me in the bollock, I'd just...
Yeah, but if they hit you in the nuts, they would have had to have lifted a hand. They would have had to move a hand, which means they're ignoring the choke.
Yeah, but that's what I've always said.
Which means they're out.
You cannot get out of a rear naked choke with a nut shot.
No, and if they choose to try and kick you or back hit you or elbow, it's like you have the countermeasure for that. If they're lifting a foot to kick, you would pivot them towards that foot and put them on their ass. And the moment you're not just going to stand there and choke them and be like, "Oh, this is nice." You'll drag them to the fucking deck. If soon as that foot,
out.
Yeah, they're going out either fucking way.
I taught my mate that, and Luke Scott, not related to me. I used to rail his sister. But, ride that bitch to pound town. I'm joking. Well, I am. I'm not, I did it. Right, so I taught him the old rear naked choke, right? That's why I don't do that, that's old fashioned.
Yeah.
It's just like that, cut it across. And you
This
start
is
putting every fucker to sleep.
We imagine their head's in the way, but it's not. You just fucking shoot straight in.
Straight across.
Fucking, yeah, no, you don't go.
And I don't do that nice. You see people do that nice pleasant squeeze where they put the arm there either side. No, straight across there, mate. Rip that bastard off. Panic attack. And even if I go against someone who's been a bit of a dick, like it's bad to say that because there's a couple of guys that they come to the gyms And one thing that fucks me off is when they scratch you with their dirty fucking nails. And there was this one kid come out, can't remember his name, but he was fucking right barn pot. He'd done loads of fucking, horrible masks. He used to do all wrist locks and shit. We'd done Japanese jiu-jitsu and all that shit. And he started grappling and he got his finger and he started pushing it in his throat with his dirty fucking fingernails. Just staff it all over it like. Oh, fuck me, mate. You should have seen the vinegar choke put that fucker in. I went across his face. I think he tried putting it under his neck. I lifted it up. No, mate, you didn't. I had his neck and I pushed it on his face.
Just so you could crank, just so you could
roll like that, and he went, you hear it. I thought, oh, you fuck me, screamed. Or muffled from my forearm. You cunt.
And the crazy thing is, if that was in the UFC, the commentators would go, he's not under the chin, he ain't going to tap to that. Fucking fighters, man, they're
eventually
serious.
You would, it would cave your whole face in.
It cave your face in.
But I don't think I wouldn't tap to it. I know I saw someone
Well, Conor against...
That was a neck crank.
That was a neck crank, yeah. Conor Nick Diaz was...
That must have been...
Yeah.
Oh, I was on about...
No, Conor Nick Diaz was across the face. It wasn't under the chin.
Nick Diaz, that was it? I thought it
was...
Conor Habib's was across the face.
Khabib's
You fucking can't confuse me with that, man.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, but you're right though. You're right. It was a neck. It went across. Just like as soon as that neck starts turning, and it starts coming down towards your forehead.
So you can turn it as much as you can and think that isn't that
turn
painful.
it as far as you can.
Okay, now let somebody else do it for you.
Now you roll it into the fucking. As soon as your head goes into your chest, it's like see your neck separating. Or if you want, obviously we're breaking necks wrong. The way Bruce Lee does it from the guillotine. And then stare into the future, go.
Yeah.
For 10 seconds.
And then just drops the guy and people go, wow, he's so good. It's like, yeah, but that's not how it actually works.
No, it's actually meant to be quite hard to break a neck. Yeah. Apparently, because the neck muscle is actually.
Well, no one in the UFC has ever fucking broken someone's neck from.
No, as soon as someone break the neck, it's all been from slams.
Yeah. But yeah, but that's when your whole body weight, like inside your arms, that's one muscle. I know you can break the neck. I couldn't pick you up with just my arms. If I put my back into it, I'd be able to pick you up. My quads, I'd be able to pick you up. If you drop someone on their head, that is their whole body's weight, which is stronger than one muscle, one limb, breaking a neck. So yeah, slam.
Sad flashbacks of a film where they were fighting monsters and they had to break their necks to kill them. It's one of those like B-movie things, right? But they sort of get the person in front of you, they come round the neck, and go, so tits are facing up.
Oh, what, like the Dragon Sleeper? Or
I can't remember what
it's
called.
The
all the way,
Executioner.
or the one, Steven Seagal does in like Siege of Fire or something.
It's like a standing north-south choke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Standing north-south choke.
That's the one I think would work. Yeah. I think that one would cause damage. You went, but like I watched all the. Well, first of all, I watched 5 minutes of Steven Seagal running the other day. I thought,
you seen the video of Steven Seagal dancing?
Mate, it's
so funny.
Fuck Steven. Do you know what? I say fuck Steven Seagal, mate. When I grew up, I idolised him.
Yeah, I know, but now you know better. You think,
but that's the problem back then.
Hey, people used to idolise Jimmy Savile. He's a fucking paedophile.
Oh, I never idolised him, Jim. Why? You got pictures on your wall?
People fucking did.
Jimmy fix it. DJ. Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris in the same room. Fuck me. Passing kids around like dog toys. Fucking nonsense. Bastards. But it's funny how Jimmy had to live a great life until it happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great life, Sir Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, but him getting fucked caught Rolf Harris out.
Yeah, well, I didn't want Rolf Harris. He was like, I liked him. He was good at painting and shit. Well, I didn't want him to be a nonce.
I know, but
I want Savile.
It showed that he was.
Yeah,
it showed that it was
good
deep
to catch him.
It showed that it was so deep in.
And Harvey Weinstein as well, but he wasn't a nonce or anything. What did he actually get done for?
Harvey Weinstein got
because he made girls suck dick to get movie roles.
The thing is, he actually gave them movie roles. It wasn't like he was some creepy fucking backseat like, yeah, baby, I'll make you a star, and then they never hear from him. Like you got to think, what actress just came out of nowhere? Imagine if Gal Gadot, who had never been in anything past before 2004, turns out that she sucked Harvey Weinstein's dick to get her first role in a movie. Highly possible.
Is that illegal though?
No.
What's he been done for? Google
the problem is someone says no. As soon as someone says no, and he's like, why not?
You don't get the part.
Then that's what becomes the Me Too movement. It becomes a man of power telling a woman that she won't get something unless she does something in return. And that something is a sexual favour.
That's what he done, yeah?
Yeah, that's what he done. So he got done for like 27 accounts of sexual assault. and there's still more coming out.
Sexual assault.
Sexual assault. Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
No, but he like took girls up to his hotel room and then locked the door because obviously he didn't want anyone coming in. And then when they said no, he was trying to grab hands. And
that's
stuff,
sexual assault. That's
exactly.
that's disgusting. Imagine if that was your daughter, you'd be fucking devastated.
Yeah. Well, there's a Joe.
I just got told.
You say that? There's a Joe Rogan sketch which he did about 4 years ago on a movie. He said Harvey Weinstein is a fucking piece of shit. To be able to say to people, "You're gonna get a role if you suck my dick," is disgusting. But if Harvina Weinstein said to my son, "Lick my pussy and you become Batman," I'm gonna go, "Son, you're gonna be Batman." That's just like that's fucking brilliant. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
The person who told me that said that's a very similar story. He goes, "Yeah, but if a woman said to you, like, you know, you got to do," I've probably got it off Joe Rogan, I expect.
Yeah.
He told it a little bit differently, but it's fucking hilarious. He goes, "Yeah, but would anyone care if you went to the press and said, fuck it, I don't know. I mean, if Goldot said, 'Eat my pussy,' or you're not, or, you know, you'd be like, 'Oh no, Emily, sorry.'"
But Harvey, you have to take Harvey Weinstein, cut the dick,
old man.
Cut the dick off, put a fucking pussy down there, put long hair on it, but it still looks like Harvey Weinstein. But she happens to be one of the most powerful fucking producers in Hollywood. Would you to become Batman?
What, eat a bit of puss for Batman? I'd suck dick to be Batman.
I'd put the mask on. I'd be going, "I'm Batman. I'm Batman."
How much did Christian? How much do you get paid to be Batman? Google it right now.
How much is Batman?
This is how much it was.
How much?
This is how much this blowjob's worth, isn't it?
How much did Christian Bale get paid or whatever? Yeah.
The sideburns, I saw that shit out. Ginger sideburns, look.
Bale.
Looks like I've shaved this bit, but I haven't.
Christian Bale, Batman's salary. He got 10 million plus 20 million bonus. The Dark Knight then paid him another 15 million. 15? 15. He turned down a £50 million payday to appear in a fourth. And the Justice League. Fuck me. How much better would that prick have been than fucking Ben Batfleck buttfuck?
So that would have been 100 million to suck dick.
Yeah. Or to lick an old lady's pussy.
That second one's better.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So 100 million to go down on a woman.
On some fat old lady.
Wow.
To go down on Harvina Weinstein.
Wow. There's a lot of things I can't say on air.
And you consult your dad, and you're like, "Dad, if I have to fuck an old fat woman to become Batman."
You have to take like 30 Viagra's. Dick's got prejudices.
I know, but you wouldn't call the police.
No, my God, I'd lock the door. Yeah. Throw the key out the window.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'll get there eventually. Just give me time. You'll get the dick eventually, Harvina. Just let me throw up a few times. Let me put some fucking
thinking in your head. 100 million. Think of the punani you can have afterwards. Well, not I'd never cheat my girlfriend anyway, but think of all the houses and cars I can just waste and ruin and live with nothing again in 5 years. Wow. That's 5 years, mate.
That's a celebrity curse, mate.
That is a real bad. I can't believe people can do that. Like Mike Tyson, like you said, he spent 700 million. Like he'd go to the Bentley dealership and buy 10 Bentleys for his friends.
But that's down to his friends. That's the problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No, but you lend people money when you haven't got that much. You lend people money.
Yeah, no.
If you were a millionaire, you would give someone $100 grand, and then that person would be. No, but would you? Would you? Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to get it back.
You can't. That's what I mean.
If they spunked it,
you can't kill
him. You can beat the fuck out of them, but guess what?
You don't get the money back. I always say this to people: why are you going to beat them up? You don't get your money back. No. And you can't beat someone up 100 grand's worth. What's that? You got to lose legs for that.
I know, but it would.
Then what happens to you?
It's to scare the next guy off, and it's like, well, don't be a dumb cunt and
don't lend it to the next guy.
Don't give him 100 grand. You silly
I always say, if you're going to lend money, just be prepared to not ever get it back. Yep. You only lend enough. That doesn't matter if you don't get it back. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've always said.
Well, that's what Mike Tyson thought, and then he realised once he had nothing that 100 grand would be really fucking helpful right about now. But he'd already spunked a couple of million on Bentleys and Tigers.
For his mates.
For his mates, exactly.
And the Tigers were expensive.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if you let your Tiger roam the house?
Yeah.
Right, and then
some burglars broke in. You know what the problem is? If you had a friend that was worth 20 million, and he was he's a young lad, so he's always having the boys over, he throws these massive fucking parties because he wants the ego trip, he's in a fucking
like that
mansion.
Guy who lost that 9 million, Mike.
No,
the worst ever lottery winner, wasn't it? He won 9 million, blew it in 3 years.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me because it's a lifestyle which people are not used to. So like I watch Ballers, have you ever seen Ballers?
Do you know why
Dwayne
there's no more
season.
Ballers?
Why?
Because Dwayne Johnson couldn't stop taking the steroids because of the insurance.
Was it really? Was that what the actual reason was?
That's a little random fact there for you, our little fruit.
Yeah, good show. But in one of it, there's a guy who's new to a contract. He's finally got his first paycheck. They go around. Rock goes round to his house, and there's literally 100 of his boys there, and they're drinking the fucking expensive booze. They're fucking turning up in their new cars, and he's bankrolled all of it because he's like, when I get famous, I'll look after my boys. But all they're doing is taking. Because if he turned around and said, "No, I'm not giving you 100 grand," they'll go, "But you fucking said this. You said that. You said you would. Well, you're forgetting about where you come from. All this kind of bullshit." It's like, no, I just don't want to give money to freeloaders, and that's what the problem is that. Popularity comes by giving people money, and if you have lots of money and you give it away, you will get popular. And that,
fair weather friends.
Well, that popularity.
What was the name of that fucking guy?
Who?
Go on, Google the worst lot of UK. Mike, I think it's Mike something. He won 9 million. He reckons he had all these
done,
women.
Though.
He bought
so
a load
easy to do.
He was racing cars and he bought like a little track in his back garden, racing fucking what they call Spanger racing.
The problem is, the more money you have, the more the big money becomes small. If I've got cash in the bank. If someone said, "Joe, spend 10 grand on something stupid," I'd be like, "No."
No, but if you
I had
100 million,
I'd be like, "Yeah, 10 grand, take it. Yeah, 10 grand, take it." But before you know it, you've given 100 people 10 grand. That's £1 million.
You've got nothing now.
You've got nothing left.
Yeah, if you'd won, say you won that, the Euro Million, the 185 million pound Euro Million, that would have sat very healthily in my bank. And what I would have done, because I know I'm a piece of shit, right? And I know I'd gone off the rails.
Yeah.
I would have said, "Dad, I'm going to give you an extortionate amount of money to look after my money."
You reckon you would have gone off the rails if someone gave
you... maybe dead in a month. Fuck me. I'd have direct planes from Colombia, chick. No, mate, no, because what I've always wanted to do is travel the world.
Yeah.
And I would travel the world, but I would do it in style. I'd have,
Yeah, but then you would do what that fucking Juice WRLD did. So, Juice WRLD, massively famous singer in the US, was also into his drugs and into everything else.
No,
he flew a private jet out to somewhere, wherever the fuck he was going. He had like 8 of his boys. They all had a fucking spliff going. They all had their fucking blocks of weed, because that's how you fucking do it when you're a multi-millionaire. All of his fucking stolen gold, fucking all of this hoochie bollocks, which is nothing important. He lands back in the US. The FDA, the FBI are there to fucking check his plane out. He freaks out. He swallows a whole fucking bag of amphetamines that he's got. He died. It's like,
I'd rather have gone to prison.
He's an idiot. Yeah. He probably could have explained all of the bullshit, paid a fine for the fucking illegal guns because he's fucking famous and he has lots of money. Instead, the dumb idiot acted like a dumb idiot and tried to hide the evidence by eating.
I'd rather gone to prison.
Yeah. No, maybe he was also one of those kind of like, he knew he'd get passed around like a fucking cheap ragdoll. Yeah, exactly.
Passed around like a dog's toy.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
I like that. That's fucking brilliant, isn't it? Bummed to death. How do you die of anal bleeding? Do you know what I mean? No, what I would honestly do, like swear to you now, I'd travel the world.
But if you had a private jet, you're telling me you wouldn't have all the drugs and booze and everything on there?
I wouldn't. I've always said if I won money, I wouldn't even get a motorbike. I'd be too scared of having everything. For the first time ever, I could do anything I want.
What do you do with your first UFC check?
Got a motorbike. It's not 100 million though, is it? We're not talking...
Exactly, if it was 100 million, you would have bought 5 motorbikes.
No, I wouldn't have, because I'd have fucking died on it. I want to go and do... Because back then I had no... It's aspired. I want to go inside the fucking pyramids with armed security. I want to go inside. I want to go and see the Mayan Mountain shit with the fucking... What you reckon aliens made?
You can do that shit on a cruise ship for like $1,000. You don't.
Yeah,
you don't
but
need to be
I want to book the whole place so I can have sex on top of the pyramids. Do you know what I mean? I want to fucking. Do you know what I mean? I want to do anything. I want to do all the cool shit. I wouldn't go to Vegas because I hate gambling. Apart from that one ticket I got earlier. But that's it.
You would go to fucking Vegas. Bullshit, would you? You 100%.
I won't go to Vegas. I didn't like it.
I know, but you didn't like it because you were young and broke and just a normal guy. No, but you were a normal guy.
Yeah, you mean Logan.
You couldn't rock up to Vegas as a multi-fucking Dan Bilzerian style, buy $100 million mansion and fill it full of fucking naked bitches.
No, I wouldn't want to live in Vegas for a start. I like Miami.
So you do it in Miami then? You buy a massive house.
I would gamble though.
And
I
fill
don't
it
like
with
it.
bitches.
I've never liked the idea of, I fucking can't stand poker.
No, that's because you're not good at it. Exactly. So someone like Dan Bilzerian is good at it. You would do the thing.
Because you're chasing. I don't like car games. Yeah. That's it. Like I don't like racing cars either. Even though that is the most amazing feeling ever, I wouldn't be a car racer, race car driver.
No, but what would you? Okay, so you had 100 million. What would you buy with it? What would be the thing you spent most of your money?
I'd have a lot of. Oh mate, I'd have my own airsoft thing.
Yeah. literally what I said, but it wouldn't be airsoft. You'd have fucking gun range.
But then I'd have to move to America and become an American citizen. You can't do that. So I wouldn't be able to do that.
Your life would be what? No fighting. You wouldn't. You wouldn't fight. No, but you wouldn't build your own school so you could fucking.
The fuck, I ain't doing that shit.
Why not? Because that's legacy. No, but that's legacy. Having your own gym so that you can bring fighters into the world.
Well, I could have like the ultimate airsoft team.
There you go. Yeah.
Get trained by the SAS. No, I don't know what else I would do. Fuck me. Make up a giant life simulator of zombie apocalypse where you could be my gatherer. Do you know what I mean? You could walk around. I'd have a nice big house. I'd have 2 or 3 big houses for a start. Because you've got 180 million. I wouldn't have anything stupid.
I'd have a gym.
I'd have my own gym.
I'd have the best.
I'd
have the best gym facility in the world.
Yeah,
I'd have the UFC Apex.
I'd have a swimming pool.
That's what I'd have.
I'd have a swimming pool too. Yeah, I'd have a fucking a hydrotherapy.
That's the UFC Apex.
You've got 180 million pounds. The one in Vegas. Yeah. The performance is amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean.
Insane.
Yeah. So I go.
You go there. You've got special meals you can buy and stuff.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So imagine being there, owning that privately, not under the UFC. You have all of your fighters which are coming there. Everyone comes up under.
You don't matter because you got
100 million. And then once you've built it, it then fills.
How much it costs to build?
Fucking ridiculous.
20 million.
Yeah.
20 million. Yeah, that's more than the Bath University campus. Yeah. The sports campus. Yeah. That's insane.
Again, but how much money has that place made them?
That's because it's a university, but it's not inclusive to you and
How much has the UFC Apex made them? Fucking ridiculous amounts, because they put all the best fighters through there. Now they're hosting all the events from there. It's like if a private individual owned a facility like that, then they would be able to have their own fight organisation on site.
It'd be amazing. I don't know what else I would do, mate.
Yeah.
I would have a shooting range, 100%.
Yeah.
So I'd be blasting, but then you're limited to what you can get in the UK to come to firearms. I could never have a handgun.
Water pistol.
I could never have a handgun.
If you have a water pistol and you paint it black, you get arrested. That's how fucking shit the rules are.
I can see why as well. I know it's shit, but I can see why. We're not in America, mate. Like I believe that we should be allowed to have handguns in the UK. I don't know why we're not allowed to have one.
Purely because the day which we get guns, the very next day people get killed.
Yeah, no.
Simple as that. The problem with the US, because they've had them for so long, getting killed is normal. People getting shot is absolutely normal.
It's only recently we haven't had guns.
Yeah, well, it's
1995. That's when.
No, but they were still stupidly.
Yeah, they're straight. But why the fuck we don't walk around with
guns?
When was the
last time we were allowed guns legally,
on the street? 60s.
Was it really back just in the 60s?
Well, you need a gun license back then, but you couldn't walk through the street. No, you've never been able to walk through the street. With
no,
guns.
exactly, because the gun
culture
wasn't there. I don't think there was
ever a time.
No, because gun culture wasn't there. Whereas in the US, you can fucking walk around wherever you want. And now, because more and more people are doing it to flaunt the regulations, it's getting more and more common. The more people see it, like the day they legalise nudity in town will be the first time someone walks through town with their fucking dick hanging out. If that's been legal for 10 years, seeing someone naked is just fucking part of daily life. That's what drugs is. That's what guns is. It's just part of daily life.
When I went to America, it was quite shocking because I've worked with the only people I see with guns at the moment I trust in my life. They're like police officers and stuff, like and soldiers. Yeah, I trust them. When you see normal people walking around the street, that and the open carry is a lot more scary than concealed carry. You can actually see them. You got a guy in a wife beater or tank vest or tank top. A mullet and 2 Glocks and about 15 mags just in case someone tries to hurt his woman. Yeah. That is intimidating.
Just in case he gets into an argument outside McDonald's. It's like,
yeah,
that's not fucking, that's abuse of power.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
But that's the problem. The moment they legalise guns in the UK, we go from no guns to that.
But wouldn't it be good if you could do a special course, right? And they do like a site. It'd be expensive, a proper course. You have to go off. You have to be trained in the use. You have to have psychiatrists. They go through your history. They go through your Facebook. They go through your Instagram. They check everything. Even the
sanest men at moments do dumb shit.
Lose their temper. Yeah, check the police records a lot. Check the fucking lot. Yeah. And that's right. And like you say, but that's for a handgun. But I'd love to have a handgun, mate. If I had one right now, yeah. And do you know what? It feels great to have a gun in your pocket. I carried a gun in America for a little bit, illegally, I know, but no one's gonna know. Had it in the car wheel. Well, that was just standard. We had it in the car anyway. It was amazing. You felt like a fucking hero. You're like, oh, you're.
But does that give people who don't know how to fight false confidence?
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of a gun. If you don't know how to fight, you even
can still protect
That's
yourself.
The whole point of a gun. Yeah. You are right. Yeah. So, I was right. Silly cunt. No, but that is true though. Like I could kill you in minutes, seconds. If you got a gun, I'm fucked.
Kill me.
And you
I
know
could
what?
kill you in a second.
First pull of the trigger, done.
Yeah.
If you hit me in the head, done.
But
Heart,
does that
done.
mean that I can lose my temper way quicker and result to deadly force?
This is why you need to do
like
that.
Normally, like if you were like, oh, that fucking little prick's annoying.
In Northern
me.
Ireland, you
Fucking
can have a
hit him.
handgun.
You want to hit someone and they pull out a gun because you want to punch them, which will do a good amount of damage, but it's not going to kill them.
Yeah, but
now they want to kill you.
The problem is that distinction. Is he trying to kill me or just hit me?
Yeah.
And the problem is you got your right.
Yeah, but how many people die in street fights with no weapons? Fucking a minimal
minuscule.
percent.
I think we have one
Minuscule
in
percent. A
It is
minuscule.
on the curve.
Yeah, it was fucking thingy. What's his face? Perry Burton's dad, Aubrey Burton.
Yeah, that's why Aubrey.
Yeah, it was fucking 32 years ago. We still fucking remember it.
It's
So I
a
mean,
long time.
we
It's a long time
remember someone being murdered 30 years ago in our town because it was happened from a fight.
What actually happened? I don't want to
It was
talk back
outside
because my
first. He got
yeah.
punched and he fell over and
It
his
was-
head
it
on
was
the
on the
curb and he
curb,
died.
yeah.
Yeah,
My mate.
I was mates with Perry.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
You're here at school,
Yeah, exactly.
that's why.
Yeah. So
He was a good little boxer,
he
actually.
was a nice guy. Yeah, I got on really well with Perry, and his
Fucking-
dad went to school with my dad.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause my uncle knew him and all that.
Yeah.
Aubrey.
So I mean, he's a
He used to fight quite a lot in town.
yeah.
Aubrey
Yeah, he
did.
was a bit of a rough guy,
Bit of a
but
scrapper, yeah. Doesn't
Yeah.
that bother me at all in the
no, it
slightest.
doesn't. We know fucking hell. You're fucking fighters. You've been in scraps or so. You don't judge someone on.
I've been in millions.
Exactly. You don't judge people for that bullshit to
A
the point where
nightclub
you.
scrapper.
Yeah, but you don't judge them to the point where you then say, well, they're the bad guy, because
No.
getting in a fight isn't that bad.
It's
People
not.
who don't fight think the people who fight are bad.
It's not
the
necessarily
fucking
the case.
basic rules.
But like you did say with the firearms and that, does anyone else agree? Does anyone else think that we should have firearms in the UK? And don't give me this, oh no, I don't know.
I don't think it will.
I don't think the police should have guns.
I don't think that now that we've
You watching us live, mate, you?
had
watching
guns.
us live? Yeah,
Let's just listen to Brad's
get
conversation.
on and watch, you cunt. No, mate, I'm live, mate. I got to get off the phone, right? So I'll call you when I'm done. Cheers, mate. Bye, bye, bye.
Bradley
I
Scott,
thought he was watching
ladies and
us.
gentlemen.
I thought he was watching. I was like, hi, you see me on TV. Yeah, you and 15
I
people.
think the moment that we legalise guns, we have mass murders. Because people...
Mass murders. You can get guns and do that now if they want to.
No, but I mean...
It's
no,
not hard to get a
but
gun.
when it's legal, people think that their actions are legal. Just because the weapon itself is legal doesn't mean... Like, someone would literally shoot someone and go, he tried to attack me! And it's like, well, what? So that constitutes murder, does it?
I got to be honest. Unless you've got...
Without the gun, was that person going to kill you? Probably not.
No, this is what I mean, but I don't think people
Murder
are
is
as
such-
bad as that.
But I think people are so scared of it now. People are in the US. Like murder by gun is such a common thing that the potential for it to go off, it goes off. In the UK, if someone is angry enough at you, they might, if they've got the balls, punch you. But that's a scary thing. Fighting is scary. We know that first time round, fighting, being able to draw the confidence and not shit your pants to punch someone clean in the face and potentially get punched back is fucking scary, which is why 99% of people do not face a physical altercation in their lifetime.
What about if we had handguns but you couldn't carry?
What's the point of them?
They had to stay at range.
They had to stay at a rate. Well, then that's pointless. That's the same
Like
as
they pretty
shotgun.
much did last time.
Yeah.
But you could take them to and fro, but that was it.
Yeah.
That's all you could do now.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
a gun, you can take it to and fro.
Yeah.
In Northern Ireland, you can get a handgun. You can use it for self-defense purposes. Work that out.
But how many people actually have a gun in Northern Ireland?
Google it. Google it. I bet there's quite a lot because of all the tension for self-defense. I expect.
Maybe.
But I don't know what the exact. I know only in Northern Ireland you can't have
How
it.
many guns in?
Northern Ireland. But I would have said handguns, but yeah.
But neither. I spelled it wrong. There are 153,000 legally held weapons.
In Northern Ireland,
In Northern
with a
Ireland.
population of what? 300,000? No, how many millions are there?
Northern Ireland population.
Population.
1.8 million. So it's 1 in 10 people have a gun.
Which is insane. How many of them are handguns? Because they're allowed handguns.
Well, that'd be what it. Yeah.
Yeah, because they can use that for self-defense because of all the because of the border issues with the
Yeah,
Catholic.
Yeah, so they were so worried about people being sharing a border with a terrorised fucking potential terrorist nation.
Wouldn't it the Northern Irish that were the bad to start off with?
Well, yeah, because they were the English.
They were the aggressors. They were the royalists, weren't they?
Yeah,
no,
because they were-
no.
Yeah, but
Was it loyalists?
they were the Catholics. The Catholics were trying to kill off the Protestants. It was English versus Irish.
It was Protestant versus Catholic.
English versus Irish. Yeah, that's what it was. If you were Irish, you weren't allowed to hold land, you weren't allowed to own a business, you weren't allowed to have a bank account, and literally the English were like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
What, in the 70s?
In the 70s, yeah. So in retaliation, the Irish were like, we literally have done so many political stuff to try and get this fixed. The only way we're going to fix this is by fucking killing people. It's the only way we're going to get fucking
the army went in there first to protect the Irish. Yeah. I swear that was what it was. They were there to protect the Irish first. Then they started making. We got the IRA. You had the other ones.
So the IRA was if we had
the Ulsters, which is
if you were in Melksham, okay, and then a group of people decided that you weren't allowed to have a car. You, Bradley Scott, nope. Why? Because you're English. Like a group of foreign nationals said you can't do what you want to do because.
Is that what I got told?
English said that the English ruled Ireland. They did not want them.
They lost the rule in 1916, didn't they?
Yeah, but we went back over. We were there, and we were trying to restrict their rights.
We had nothing to do with it.
They were in charge the potato famine.
That was in the 1700s, wasn't it?
No. Fucking, we were starving their food. We cut off their.
Yeah, but when was that? That was a long time ago. The potato famine. It was. Was it during the Empire?
Potato famine in Ireland.
Was it 1800s?
1849.
See?
Yeah. But again, the reason why that happened is because we were cutting off the fucking food supply.
Because
all they were allowed was potatoes. That's all they were allowed to eat.
They weren't allowed potatoes. We didn't let them have it.
But they weren't allowed any other food. They couldn't get access to any other food.
We made sure at gunpoint they did, which is terrible. I'm not saying it was great, but it was terrible.
Yeah, we did fucking horrible things.
Because their population never recovered.
No, we did horrible things to them, which is why the IRA reacted the way they did.
Oh, they wanted United Ireland, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't blame them.
But the Northern Irish didn't want to. They wanted to stay to.
People go IRA sympathise and shit. There's like, wouldn't you be a sympathiser if you were if your country was being locked down and told you can't do what you want?
Wouldn't you just be a fucking? If you were being oppressed like that, you become IRA. I mean, their way of doing.
You become radicalised if you were being oppressed.
Well, that's the whole point. The problem is with the IRA, they were killing women and children as well. That was the problem.
Well, yeah, they were killing because they had to try and. Well, they killed a royal. Well, they killed.
This is what I mean. Well, they were shooting.
They killed Prince Philip's uncle.
Not only that. Look what they done to. They blew up fucking.
Manchester.
Well, they done it at Ardnall Hall and Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
People.
Again, they were just trying.
They were nail bombing pubs.
Yeah. Because they
that's not soldiers.
No, I know. No, but the soldiers were the problem. They
wrong.
were trying to make a point to the English government: if you don't give us our rights back, we will kill.
I'm sure it's because they wanted United Ireland.
Yeah, they wanted. Well, they just wanted.
They wanted Northern Ireland to be part of Ireland.
They wanted safety. They wanted to be able to have their own banks, their own money, their own cars, their own fucking houses, their own businesses.
Didn't they?
No, they didn't.
I thought they did because they were to run their own country.
No, but we were literally stopping them from having everything.
How?
By
we weren't in their country.
No, but we were.
We weren't in that country. We got kicked out in the 1950. Google, have a look. I swear we got kicked out. I thought it was.
I'm sure the comments are fucking going crazy right now.
I thought it was 20 people now. Like 20 Irish people. For fuck's sake. Brad, you're not fucking on.
Anyone got any comments, guys? Fucking feel free to bang it in. We are literally just chatting bollocks, trying to figure out history and having a laugh at the same time.
I enjoy history.
Yeah, we do. It's
a nice subject.
It's a subject which you can both talk over and have a. In countries where it's legal, they're about guns. Guns, murder are actually nowhere near as common as people think. They're higher in inner cities, and because obviously inner cities, more physical people, more physical chance.
People are closer.
People are closer. More chance for heated arguments. More chance for people to get shot. You get two people who don't know how to fight, and both of them are carrying guns, and they get to a point where normal people would punch up. They're going to pull a gun instead. Yeah, and also people with guns, they get that superhero complex.
Well, because.
They think that they're stronger than everyone else. So they get hold of a gun and go, wow, I can change my destiny with this. Same, but they do that. But the first thing they do is they go and try and steal $200 from a fucking corner shop.
Well, I wouldn't say that's what the average illegal gun owner
No, but someone who is an illegal gun owner who is desperate and then gets hold of a gun will not do something for good for it. They will not go, this is for me to stay safe. They will
It's for crime, that's why it's illegal.
Yeah, exactly. They will impose their...
it's not going to be tracked
threat
to them.
On people.
And sell it on Craigslist.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a lethal power as easy as pulling a trigger on a gun you bought from Tesco, then the accessibility and detachment from accountability will lead certain individuals to harm others with guns. Absolutely. That's literally the point of it. Nothing about any IRA stuff yet. So I strictly survive on potatoes some days. Yeah, nothing better than chips. Fucking.
Yeah, I was going to say mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
I do like mashed potato.
Someone said Mark Southall wants to bring it back to fighting. Brad, what was your best fight?
Mock or Scott, which is the most satisfying, Ben Alloway.
Yeah, well, smashing him up on fucking...
Watching him cry. Look.
Did he cry?
Yeah, I'd cry after every fight if I win or lose. No,
is that because just the emotional stress of it?
Emotional stress, he's like,
but does that not kind of make you think that you weren't emotionally stable? Because some fighters can literally finish a fight and wander out and be absolutely... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I'd argue about how many people have done that.
Oh, yeah, no, lots of fighters.
You put yourself under so much pressure all the time.
No,
that's,
but
that's
other people handle
part.
Pressure easily.
Some people don't handle it well, some people handle it pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm normally pretty good under pressure. I performed well.
I came up, so a couple of weeks ago, I was high as fuck, and I was thinking to myself that every situation I judge my response on isn't the same as everybody else. Like, me going, fuck me, that's hard as fuck. And it's like, to some people, that's fucking easy. To some people, fighting is easy. They've done it so many times, they just bounce straight back, job done.
Yeah,
I can't see Wonderboy curling up in a ball and crying after a fight, whether he wins or loses. That's part of the game.
You don't curl up and have a little tear. You cry for fucking 3 days.
Yeah,
it's over. Over in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but they don't. I guess some might not see it as the emotional turmoil war that you went through. Like, like for you, it was the outcry of emotions. Was that of a normal person?
I assume so.
Most people,
when you win, it's a happy crying.
No, but you
when you you still
but the ramifications functional. Because you won, the ramifications of losing come through way. It's like a relief that you.
It is a relief.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what every fight I've ever spoke to says.
Yeah.
By the end of it all, it's just a relief. Win or lose, it's like, oh.
Thank fuck for that. Because some people get so much pleasure from the whole experience.
I've never met anyone like that.
No.
No, in my whole life, never met anyone like that. I've never met anyone that says they don't get nervous. Never met anyone ever.
Yeah, but the nerves are what carries your ability.
Mate, that's the scary bit. Walking out is fucking horrible.
You said that to all of the guys at Fame, and none of them concurred.
Because they've never done it before.
No, but you were so good at the fighting bit that the other bit is what scared you. They were good at the pompous show, but the fighting bit is what scared them.
Well, they didn't look like that before I saw them when they were about to walk out, did they?
Oh yeah, but
they didn't look
in
so...
those 5 minutes.
Because you don't realise until you do it, you'll have no idea.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're walking there. It's one of the bell goes you fight. It doesn't matter what happens. Oh, we fight. But walking out,
that's because you were so. That's your opinion. Because you were so sure of your ability, you weren't scared of the fight. But you were, when you were walking to the cage, you felt vulnerable.
Well, it's horrible. Because that's where that's the bit. Oh my god, it's about to happen.
It's the
ready, fight. Oh my god. Do you know what I mean? Even then, it's not until you start throwing. Because it's like...
Yeah, but then you get your rhythm up, and then you start going, okay, I know this.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable with this. But that's what you have to be.
The crowd.
You have to be comfortable with pressure and pain and getting hitting someone. You have to be comfortable with that. And that's what most people are not comfortable with. So your best fights, you say Mock Rahman because you dominated that fucker. And
yeah, but it was too much for domination, wasn't it? It wasn't actually. It wasn't that much. It wasn't that dominant. Mate, it was only dominant in certain areas.
Mate, he caught you a couple of times, but you fucking picked him off of combo after combo.
Yeah, but
if you hadn't floored him with that liver shot, you would have knocked him out 2 minutes later.
I would have finished him. I was because I remember speaking to Brian, his coach. His coach messaged my manager and said, "Look, we know what Brad's going to do. He's going to come in. He's going to shoot." I was like, wow, they got no inside information at all.
I don't think I've ever seen you shoot for a takedown, mate.
No, I did on their show, didn't I? On their show, I thought the only time you saw me fight, I shot for a takedown.
Oh, what, on UAE?
Shock and Awe.
Was that what it was?
And that was on their show. And they're like, oh, that's what Brad's going to do. No.
Who were you fighting?
The reason I shot is because I was fighting someone who was a Welsh boxing champion, and he caught me in the body, and I was like, ooh!
Who was that?
Gareth Williams. I was like, fuck me, mate, it's like a sledgehammer. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to fucking shoot instead. So I shot, and it was a terrible shot, sprawled through the fucking mat. But he fucked up so bad, it was like, let me take his back. I was like, give me his neck. I was like, you fucking joking? I'm fucking okay. Do you know what I mean? And that was when I was still doing that.
Yeah.
Cut the fucker off. But when I fought, Mark, that's why he was like, he thought it'd be easier for him to have his back against the fence
and take damage.
Rather than because he thought I was going to shoot. But he probably practiced all of his get-ups and cage work. Mm-hmm. If I don't want to get taken down...
Yeah, you put yourself against a cage.
You
stay on the outside.
I do the opposite. I don't want to be put against that fence. I got good hips. I didn't like... If I was put against the fence, that was when I got taken down. Because everyone's different. And that's just the way I was. I like being away from the cage. And not only that, if you're against the cage, you're losing 90% of the time.
Yeah, well, you like to... You like to pace
put people
down.
there. I want to keep them there.
Well, that's what they've always said. You're a pressure fighter.
Yeah, keep them in that ring so they can't go backwards. Every now and then, bang, bang, you can get a good job.
Yeah.
And I did land, and I think the first round, it was the end of the first round.
Yeah, right at the end. He got fucking the bell. He got saved by the bell, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he was done. He was finished.
Saved by the bell.
He wobbled back to his corner. The ref could have stopped it there and then. And then we went to the second round. And I remember it because I was so calm because there was no crowd. That makes it so much easier when you.
Was there no crowd?
Hardly any crowd at all. Well, they didn't speak. It was silent. It's an Islamic country. There's no alcohol. We're in open places like that. So I went in there. It was just, there was no cheering, no clapping. It was easy. And I went in there for the second round, and he fully recovered. And I was amazed. I was like, wow, he's fine again. Then just pop, pop,
yeah,
pop,
against
pop,
the cage.
pop, 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 slip, pop, pop, pop. Just kept it going. I could see them around, and then I thought, whoa, let's have a go at some clinch fighting. And luckily for me,
he didn't clinch, did he?
He had absolutely no idea how to clinch.
No.
Zero idea.
Well,
so I just go, pop, 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 and it was horrible. Elbows, bang, bang. And then at the end of that round,
that combo which you actually floored him with was uppercut, left hook, straight, body shot.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then I went to dip back for a right.
After that first 2 shots, if he'd have got a whizzer and an overhook or a fucking or
just
a collar tie or
something,
a collar tie, just
held
on
to
you.
Yeah,
but
just hold.
He just covered
up and circled away and he showed me his body.
Opened up his body.
And I was already throwing it, so he's fucked.
Yeah.
And the ref should have stopped it then, but no. Fat Neil Hall still let it keep going. Fuck's sake, Neil Hall. He fucked up 2 of my fights. Done my head in. He's actually a really nice guy, Neil Hall. Actually a real sound guy. He is, no matter what I say, he is good at his job. I can't argue about it. Fucking winds me up, but he is good at his job. The reason he's in a referee in the UFC. He's a fucking big cunt as well, mind. I want to see it. He fucking bulldozing me out. Fucking built like a hot air balloon, didn't he? And that, so yeah, and then
I like that fight. I thought it was a good fight.
He couldn't have been.
That's what got you your UFC contract.
Couldn't have been any more perfect for me.
Did that one get you the task, or was it? Or were you already on the radar?
No, I wasn't on the radar. I'd never been on the radar. I didn't even care about it. And then, so that one there couldn't have gone any more perfect for me, that fight, because he had no way in hell he was taking me down. I was way better than him on the floor, so no matter, even if he dropped me, it wouldn't have gone well for him, because if he had to follow me down, I would have subbed him.
No chance.
And then against the cage, I was way stronger, way more physical. I don't know, he was an ex-powerlifter, so it improved the lifting stronger, but in the body positions I put myself in,
we know that lifting weights means fuck all.
It helps, but it doesn't mean you're going to be positionally strong. No. I was very positionally strong.
Well, it's like usable strength, isn't it?
Yeah, I also, I was very, very calm on the inside. I got no fear of being hit on the inside. I was sitting there, wait, boom, boom, wait, grab hoodie, boom, boom, boom. And he had no defensive defence to it. So all he could do was throw little pussy kicks at me. And he didn't even turn. He was so worried about me catching the leg. He went flick, 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 flick. So none of them were hard. So it's like, well, fucking hell, here we go then. It's going to be horrible for you. So I just fucking, all right. Couldn't have gone any more perfect. Do you know what I mean?
See, I liked your fight against, the dude you submitted with the belly down guillotine. Dylan. What was his fucking Dylan Andrews? Dylan Andrews. I like that fight.
Did him deal? Yeah, because I come back from being
yeah.
I was all over him as well. What the fuck?
That was a really good fight.
You were scared to death of me, mate.
I like the setup. I liked your setup.
Oh yeah, you mean the finish?
Yeah,
mate, I was always
the setup was great. The fact that you went from turtle, north south in turtle, you scooted out to the right to draw his catch to stop you taking his back, but opened up the gap between his head and arm so you could get the guillotine.
Yeah, it's just so I've drilled a million times. I didn't even have to think about it.
No, exactly.
Especially when I got it.
But most people would have gone for the back. But he would have caught your leg and then spun around and got his guard back.
It'd have been on top, or you could have ended up on top. If I fell off, so I thought, well, do you know what? I've been practicing this all week at the gym you let me train at. Because we both rang at the gym to train there.
Where was it? Where were you fighting?
And then I got there first, turned up and I was like, I train here. And they go, let's ring Dylan. They rang Dylan. Adelaide. Okay. With the saltwater crocodiles and shit like that. And then, so I've been practicing that guillotine there all week. All week is 1, 2, 3. So I've been practicing it for a long time. And so I reach over for the ass, grab the butt cheek, and then he lets go, catch. He's fucking whip it on, and you always roll over, get him out. And I knew it was on. I busted his eye up.
Yeah.
I was way better than Dylan Andrews anyway.
Yeah, that was
I can't believe I fucking got dropped. Fuck's sake. hit me in the back of the ear.
I need to rewatch the Scotty Askham fight again.
That was a good fight.
It was a good fight, but I think you were so emotionally charged in that you left yourself open a hell of a lot.
Yeah, and they're fighting an awful.
You fought with a lot of emotion in that.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
No.
Makes it easier.
Yeah, no, it makes it easier, but if you'd have taken 10% off your punches, you probably would have landed more on them.
Yeah, because I tried to kill him every punch. I was like, because he hit soft. He doesn't hit hard.
Yeah.
And I had no respect for his punching power.
No, but you shut down his main by staying as tight as you did. You sort of deactivated his big weapons, which are his big legs.
Every time he thought he caught me and come in, something bad happened and he got caught. That's why, if you look, I was the one.
You were the aggressor. You fucking
the whole way through.
Him.
The whole way through, and you can tell he won the fight. I can't even split decision.
No.
At the end of it, my hands go up. Scott Askins like looking at the wall, and then I put your hands up.
Yeah.
So you know you lost. You lost every round. I don't understand. The round you took me down, I was down on the ground for 8 seconds. And they give him a round for that. I was like, what the fuck? After that, and then you break your leg. You were like against the fence, couldn't stand up and shit.
Yeah.
And that's when I should have finished him. Just pop, pop. Instead, I was going.
When you put him down with that fucking massive right, you dropped his ass.
Shot.
No, you took the power off.
Perfect. Yeah.
You took the power off of it.
Yeah, I just threw it because I knew I had to throw.
Yeah.
But you can see my eyes go like, you can see my eyes look at him. Oh no, which one was it? Was it a left hook, straight right, or straight right, left hook? Straight right, left, no, left hook, straight right.
Lead left, yeah, it was a lead left hook, straight right.
And the straight right landed, that was it.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
if I took my knuckles in a bit more, that'd have been it. And as I went to finish him off, he put an up kick up, caught my knee and jarred my knee. Oh, fucking cunt. in my head, I was like, oh, you fucking dirty northern cunt. I'll fucking get you back for that. I was like, ah, and I managed to land one punch. I was like, fucking get up. I ain't playing around with you, you're way better than me on the ground.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, way better.
No, but even with his brain scrambled, you think he would have been better?
Yeah, I don't want to give him a risk. I wanted to hurt him. I wanted damage. I wanted to break his leg.
That was a fucking very emotional fight.
Yeah, not only that, I was going to retire before that as well. I thought I've had enough of this shit, so I'm going to retire. You don't get paid fuck all to do what you do. So I want to fucking go.
That's the misconception, isn't it? Like, unless you are winning back to back,
top 3,
winning and getting bonuses.
5. Yeah.
Unless you're working into the rankings and you're winning bonuses, the UFC is fucking scary. Like, if you Google any of the salary payouts on an average fight night, the undercard's like 12 grand.
So it's like 8 and 8. No, it's 10 and 10 now minimum. So 10 and 10, which is still.
And then you might get a fight week bonus of what, 4 grand if you're lucky.
You don't get them anymore.
Really? No, well, I mean like the Reebok.
Reebok. Oh yeah, Reebok. Yeah. So I'm forgetting about the little backhanded bonuses. They were brilliant. That was amazing. That was. Yeah, so you get a check come through the post. Like, what's this for? $5,000. What for? Just a little check to say thank you. Like, you don't get that anymore.
Yeah. No, but 5 grand is fuck all.
Yeah, no, but it's
the problem is
$3 grand in cash.
Do you know what they want? They want people to think. They want you to be employees. They want you to go, thank you, master. Thank you, boss. Thank you for my little bit of pennies.
Because
but reality is, your job makes their job. Without you, they have no business, and you go through some fucking hell. Oh god, I can't imagine how fucking hard the training is. It's fucking disgusting. And
training's harder
to train like that.
It's training on a calorie deficit. That's the issue.
Exactly. So you go through 3 months, and in those 3 months, you're not doing your own personal coaching, so you're making no fucking money. But you're not making any money on yourself.
No, you don't. You can make fuck all.
So you do 3 months of no money. You probably have to pay 10 grand for a camp, and at the end of it, someone on the undercard gets given 20 grand if they're lucky, or 10 if they don't win. So you've done 3 months worth of putting your body through absolute hell for essentially minimum wage.
I'm not going to say any names because no, it's not fair. But there's this one guy. He's in the UFC now. He got sponsored $2 grand a month. So he was given more than I was earning when I was in the Avon. To live and to train full time. And I still.
But that's what they should do. The UFC should sponsor every single one of their fighters. Anyone on the card should have a wage. The Premier League footballers, they don't even have to play, and they're still getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a month or year or whatever. If someone gets put on the fucking disabled list because they're injured and they don't play for 6 months, Virgil van Dijk is not going to play the whole of the season for Liverpool. He's still on 300 grand a week.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So why are the UFC not paying their fighters?
Mate,
they can afford it. Fighters will become better. They won't have to focus on outside training. They will get better nutrition because they can look after themselves. They can pay better coaches. They can travel better. They need to have a set wage for the UFC.
Yeah, it'd be nice to help.
The moment you sign a contract, it's here's $2,000 a month. They're a multi-billion-pound corporation, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they're worth quite a lot.
Like $2,000 a week to keep all of their fight, $2,000 a month as a basic wage to keep their fighters in check. But then you have to sign up for a fight once every 6 months.
You've got to sign for a fight when you're told. And
yeah, no, but that should be part of it. If you're going to be on a salary, you can't just sit on a salary for 2 years.
No.
You have to be an active member.
You've got to try to fight.
You've got to try to fight.
Yeah, like
you've got to put your name forward every month, and they'll pick you for whatever you're doing. But that $2,000 a month, they don't even count that shit. That's not even that's just an expense that goes out. So they've got 500 fighters on the UFC roster.
It was less than that.
Is it less
500 now?
It's about 500 now. So that's 500 times. So that's 500 times 2,000. Add a zero. So that's £1 million. £1 million a month just to keep all of their fighters trained and fed.
Ready to go.
Like Kevin Kroom, the guy who he won Fight of the Night a couple of months ago. He said it was on his debut. He said he had $17 in the bank.
Yeah, I saw that
when the UFC called him up to get to fight, and he fought on 3-4 days' notice. He was like a fucking low-level regional, and he gets a UFC call up. He had $17 in his bank, and he was sleeping at the gym.
Didn't he win the bonus?
Yeah, he won £50 bonus.
Good, that's way better for him.
Yeah.
So back to what I was saying.
He hasn't fought since. That was 8 months ago. The problem is he's gone from no money to getting a $50,000 bank check, and now he's going to pay for his life for probably a year and a half because he's a frugal guy. But
he needs to get training.
If he'd put him on $2,000 a month to the point where he knows he's got regular money coming in, he could be like, let's get back in there. Train. Exactly. Rather than burning through his money and then having to fight purely for necessity. Fighting to live is when you get emotional-based fighters that have mental breakdowns.
I'm surprised. It's stressful.
It's fucking hell.
It's almost like they want you to have that, by the way.
Yeah, they want you to have that because it makes you hungry. But
no, they want you to be like that. Yeah. But anyway, back to what I was saying, because you missed what I was trying to say. Actually,
sorry, my bad.
What I'm never. You went. I was like, I know what you're trying to say because it's a spin-off. What I was saying before I was in the UFC. This guy was getting sponsored $2,000 a month. We were both low-level pros, and I was still working full time. Boom, boom. But I shot up. He was training full time. I'll tell you who it is afterwards. And then because he's really good. And then boom, I got signed, and I was still working, and he was still. I had my whole career come back out, retired, and then he just got in. So it just shows you it's always been sponsored. But if you don't want to put yourself out there, push yourself to the absolute limit. And I think a lot because I was working, it was even more strive. I didn't care about being in the UFC for a start. That made my life a lot easier.
How would you have got into the Do you think you would have got into the UFC without tough?
Yeah, 100%. I would have fucked the circuit up. I was better than everyone already.
Yeah. No, I think when you were, I think for a long time, the UFC were happy with their roster of 100 plus fighters, and then they started doing the Ultimate Fighter challenges to obviously bring new blood in. But that wasn't a massive goal. Only one person per fucking season got a UFC contract.
2, wasn't it?
Was it 2? A runner-up and the winner?
Runner-up and winning.
So how many seasons of tough did they do? 20 odd?
It's got to be like that now.
So that's 40 new fighters they brought in 10 years. Yeah, that's not enough
roster
people.
Now's a bit
so
more
now they've opened up the roster. They're bringing in debutants fucking every week, pretty much.
And they're getting rid of guys all the time.
Yeah, and getting rid of guys all the time. But when you signed up, they weren't as easy accessible.
No, but I would have got in there anyway.
Yeah, but I think it would have been another 2 years maybe. I think it would have been another 2 years of fucking up the regional scene. I think you would have done a bit more on Cage Warriors, maybe a bit on Bama or something, and then you would have been picked up. But in that cycle, that might have broken your fucking will to fight.
Yeah, it might have, yeah. I only fought for fun. I didn't fight for the money, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but if you'd have ever had a big massive paydays, would you have been fighting for the money?
Yeah. That's what changed. When you get in the UFC, everything changes.
Yeah.
You're not fighting for fun anymore. People who say that you are fighting for, they're lying because they're not. They're fighting for money. That's why they're all saying. That's why if they were fighting for fun, why do they leave to Bellator for that money? If they're fighting for fun, it's all lies.
No, if they're not getting the fights like some of the UFC guys now are moving on because they want to dominate. They don't want to have to be like who's just moved over like Yoel Romero. He's just gone to Bellator. On a Bellator. And it's because he will win everything in Bellator, but to progress in the UFC, he has to fight Whittaker again. He has to fight Adesanya again and Costa, and he ain't gonna beat either of them.
No,
he's a fucking incredible fighter. But he's too old. He will be the fucking heavyweight champ in.
But there is
in
a
2021.
theory, when people do that, they move across. they end up not doing as well because they're not as hungry because they think
It's
they're going to be fighting easier guys. The guys are killers in both, but the UFC the UFC is the best.
Yeah. No, but it'd be like a
I
Premier
haven't
League.
had an easy fight
If
in
you
fucking
stuck,
10 years.
If you stuck, well, for instance, is a perfect example. Tottenham football team probably aren't going to win the league for a long time, but they're a very fucking good team. You stick those boys, the whole team, in the championship, they'll win the championship in year 1. That's
Every time.
Every
and they won't lose a game.
And they won't lose a game. Exactly.
They'll win every game 5-6-0. That's the level difference.
That's the level difference. But they would rather have the glory of winning than the risk of losing.
But if you put me...
There's a bit of a pussy way out, but at the same time, you can't call someone like fucking Yoel Romero a pussy because he's clearly not. He is going for the easier money.
I'll tell you what...
Easier, not easy, easier.
What is good as well is if you put, like, for instance, me, with my knowledge now, back in my fitness body, and you just went in the Cage Warriors, I'd end up being champion pretty quick.
Dude, you're only 31 now.
I could do it now. And then if you want to be
you say you could do it now, you would need 2 years of fucking solid training.
Wouldn't take that long. Not a chance.
No, but what, to recondition your body?
Just a year. Not even that. 6 months.
No, okay.
I'll never ever get back to that.
A year to get to fucking the old Brad in terms of training levels, skill, durability, conditioning. You don't think it'd take a year?
No, it won't take that long. You'll be fucking surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had a few stints with training. So fuck me, that was great.
No, but you thought you would get back to where you were. That's the thing. It's so hard.
No, to get back to where you were, I thought I'd have to lose a lot of weight. That's why I said a year to get
so
the weight. Because I'm not
back to where you were.
in 6 months. I couldn't lose enough weight and stay fit and get strong.
No,
I'd have to do it all gradually, bring it down, and I'd still fight a middleweight. It wouldn't be as easy to. Like in my head, ability wise, I'm probably better now because I coach all the time. Mm-hmm. But actually getting get my body ready in that physical condition, that would be hard. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
That's what would be hard.
You want to be champ, you would then have a year of fighting as well. You would do probably 3 fights in that year. The first one would fuck you up, you'd probably get injured.
No, it depends what I thought. You never know. Could go there and just fuck the guy up completely.
Exactly. But then the second
could
fight,
go in there and get beat.
Fight, you might,
because I've got too nervous and all that shit.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. 2 years to maybe get to highest level of champ again in a lower level. That's why I said 2 years, because you would battle your old demons, your performance anxiety and everything else.
I reckon I'd be a lot better now.
Yeah.
With age, I got better. I think. When I was.
You don't think it would remanifest?
No, I wouldn't give a fuck now because I'm not in UFC.
No, but what if you started? If you then
like for that fight I had in Westminster, I didn't get nervous in the slightest.
Yeah, but because that was a glorified fucking sparring session for you.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. It was still.
You weren't going to get dropped by a fucking boxer. You were never going to get.
Yeah.
You weren't ever going to get dropped by a kickboxer.
He didn't hit hard enough for a start. But that I didn't perform very well there because I was too heavy. It's because I was relying on being big and strong.
Fucked in a fucking. What did we take before? Ephedrine.
Ephedrine, yeah. Whoops. Yeah, you're allowed to take that. Technically, I'm better now as well. So,
yeah.
And because I've learned a lot about coaching and teaching, I don't understand.
I think you need to be a pro coach. I think you need to be the.
I coach so many people as well. They will love it. They always come back. Always. I teach high level guys too.
Yeah, but you're not a pro coach. This is the thing. This is what I said.
It's hard to be a pro coach.
Pro coach is a full time. No, if you went full time with it and you took on 5 pro fighters within 5 years, you'd have your own gym.
Yeah, they'd be in the UFC too.
Yeah, exactly. And then the money comes in because you take 10% of all their cut because you're the boss. You've got 5 fighters on 10%. One of them happens to really fucking shoot and is making 80 grand a fight. You make 8 grand off of his fight without stepping in the cage. And then you have a gym which is making 50 grand a year on fucking gym memberships and fucking training purposes. Suddenly you personally are making 100 grand without stepping in the cage.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's easily doable.
I have to step in
Who
the cage.
Who thinks that fucking Brad could do that? Quite fucking easily.
You have to step in the cage,
Yeah, step in the cage, but not, you know what I mean? You're not going to physically put on the fucking trunks under the lights for the fucking...
How long have we been going for now?
Fucking ages.
I thought you've been going for like 3
hours. Yeah, easily.
You
want to call it a day?
Yeah, call it a day. But what's comments saying first? Don't call it a day.
Let's have a little look to see some comments. Obviously, some of you guys have still been loyal as hell to us, so we really appreciate everybody.
Yeah,
this is episode 1, guys. So things will get more streamlined. I need to buy a better camera for that fucking one because it keeps cutting out. But yeah, I'm really glad we got this done. I'm really glad you guys are hopefully enjoying it. The comments. Obviously, no one's called us an asshole yet, so...
Padman Brad.
Baby.
That. Anyone locally wants to train with me, hit me up on Instagram.
Jake Paul versus Brad.
Stupid prick.
Brad versus Logan. Again, Brad... Yeah.
It's not even a fight. I wouldn't even train for it. I'd have a fag before I walked in.
It's fucking funny.
I had a fag before the English title fight. When I was having a couple of fags aside, the opponent walks by and sees me. I fucking whooped his ass, folded him in two. What origami,
Isn't
bitch.
it? How would you approach a Hermanson fight second time around if you had to do it again?
I would have been fine first. I was just ill. I should have just took the fight down.
Yeah.
I should have just took the fight down because I was ill. But they were like, I should just turn it down. That's the only difference. I was ready. I knew my game plan was good. I was ill. I was weak. I couldn't get up.
I can't imagine
staff
being on the fucking floor underneath someone who's
very heavy as well.
Yeah, I can't imagine being underneath him.
Yeah,
and
weighed
being
me by about
sick.
10 pounds.
You just like want to close your eyes and go, just hit me 5 times so the ref can stop this fucking thing. I just want to go home.
Yeah, I just want to go
to bed. The fact that you flew 8,000 miles, fought at altitude as well. It was Mexico City, wasn't it?
That was vile, mate.
So you were fighting at. What's the altitude there? Like
5,000.
5,000.
I was so ill, mate. That killed me. Absolutely, the highest seat in the world. Any other questions? Yeah. Highest seat in the world. Sorry for the bad answer. It's just.
No, I think that's a.
No, I was talking to the guy.
It was a good answer.
It was just there's nothing else. Like the truth. But that's the truth. There's no lying about it. Any other questions?
No, that's it for now. I'm well happy with this, guys, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream as well. We will be doing this hopefully once a week if we can get this done. It will either be both of us or a guest of some sort. I am free to do this whenever, so I will be making lots of contact with lots of friends and try and get some cool guests for you guys. And I hope to see you then. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Message me.
I'm sure you already are. All 15 are.
Message me on Instagram.
Yeah, feel free to get us on Instagram.
Padman Brad's on his way up on this.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a whole section on the channel which will be Padman Brad, and then we've got the Church of Violence stuff. We have a video coming out this afternoon. Shall I put it up this afternoon?
Yeah, put it up in half an hour.
Yeah.
We've got a video going up. It's quite funny, guys.
It's
going up in half an hour.
It's a good laugh. It's a little bit stupid, but you'll enjoy it, I'm sure. But yeah, we hope you guys have enjoyed the video and the live stream today, and we hope you have a great start to year 2021, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Assalamu alaikum. See you later, boys.
Haters, guys. Work.